Welcome to Fanfiction Audiobook. Start with Superman, Beat Marvel. Chapter 31. Barry. Bruce said after a little thought, "We'll be there in half an hour." Hearing this, Barry almost staggered and fell to the ground, and he cried out again in despair, "What? It's still half an hour." Barry looked back, and the stern-looking Superman was flying in midair, less than 100 meters away from him at most. The sense of crisis struck, and Barry turned around and changed his direction. In the next second, a heat ray hit the position where Barry was just now. "Oh my god. Dude, I can't hold on for half an hour. Maybe in the next second, I'll die under the heat ray." Barry yelled, his steps becoming a little vain. The long hours of running around aggravated Barry's exhaustion. In the fighter plane, when they heard Barry's answer, the few people all looked solemn and said nothing. Seeing this, Lin Feng stood up silently. "I can go there first." Seeing several people looking at him, Lin Feng nodded and continued, "My flight is very fast, turn on the fighter, I will fly there first. Tell Barry to run in the direction I'm flying over. I'll be there as soon as possible." When several people heard this, their eyes lit up. Bruce nodded decisively. "Okay, Lin Feng, you go first. We must save Barry and the mother box. This is related to the fate of Blue Star." After finishing speaking, Bruce stretched out his hand and patted Lin Feng's shoulder, his eyes full of solemnity and trust. Lin Feng nodded silently, with a thought. The next second, a black battle suit appeared on his body. Bruce handed Lin Feng a headset. "With this headset, we can talk anytime. Are you ready?" Lin Feng took the earphones, put them on his ears, and replied, "Okay. Open the hatch." In the next second, Bruce pulled the hatch door, and the air was instantly sucked out of the cabin. Lin Feng did not resist, and was thrown out of the fighter plane along with the air. Boom! Lin Feng, who got out of the fighter plane, turned around and flew towards the direction of Barry like a shooting star, leaving only a few sonic boom clouds in the air. The speed is more than 10 times faster than that of a fighter plane. Several people in the fighter plane had been prepared for a long time, and they were not sucked out of the plane. Seeing that Lin Feng had flown away, Bruce closed the cabin door, then opened the communication and connected Lin Feng in. At the same time, a green dot representing Lin Feng's location appeared on the screen of the fighter console. Victor, who was looking at the data, brightened his eyes, and said to several people, "There is hope. Lin Feng's flight speed is very fast. With this flight speed, Lin Feng should be able to fly to Barry's location in less than 5 minutes." When several people heard the words, their expressions were slightly relaxed. As expected of Kryptonians, the flight speed, more than 10 times the speed of sound, disappeared from everyone's sight in an instant. Bruce connected to the communication again. "Barry, can you hear me, Barry?" "I can hear it." Barry's voice came from the communicator again. "Guys, maybe it's time to say goodbye. I'm sorry, I can't keep the mother box." The exhausted Barry confessed his last words in general. "Oh, Barry, don't give up." Diana stepped forward, worried. Bruce also said, "Barry, don't give up. Lin Feng is flying towards you. Persist for 2 minutes. He can fly there in 2 minutes. Don't lie to me, Bruce, and, who is Lin Feng?" "I didn't lie to you. Barry, Lin Feng is our secret weapon. He is a secret weapon that can counter Superman," Bruce said hastily. At this time, Barry must see hope, so that he has a chance to last until Lin Feng arrives. After Bruce finished speaking, he operated on the console to connect Lin Feng's headset to the communication channel. "Hi, Barry Allen, I'm Lin Feng." Lin Feng's voice sounded on the channel. The biological force field allows Lin Feng to communicate with everyone during super-fast flights. He heard the conversation between Bruce and Barry just now, so he naturally knows what Bruce means. "Trust me man, I have Kryptonian blood too. I'm rushing towards you. Hold on." Lin Feng's concise words hit Barry's heart like a shot in the arm. "Oh my god. Is it true?" Barry was incoherent excitedly, but at the same time couldn't help complaining. "Why didn't we use this secret weapon earlier?" Several people in the fighter plane looked at each other. "We also want to use it sooner, but the secret weapon just appeared today, what can we do?" Bruce said, "Barry, run towards your southeast, that's where Lin Feng came from." "Got it, sir. I'll make it through 2 minutes." When hope came, Barry suddenly felt full of strength again. He squeezed the last bit of potential, and his whole body turned back on the spot like lightning, and galloped towards the southeast. After turning off the communication, everyone in the fighter plane focused their attention on the screen showing the coordinates, which displayed a line of data and 2 signal points. The 2 signal points are approaching rapidly, and the data shows that it only takes 2 minutes and 38 seconds for the 2 signal points to coincide. Several people constantly pray that Barry can run faster and Lin Feng can run faster. No one wants to see disaster come. And Lin Feng at the moment has already used the flight speed to the extreme, and the radiation from the sun constantly replenishes his energy. Barry, who was running extremely fast, felt a little miserable. The controlled Black and Clark seemed to be playing a game, like a big cat playing with a mouse, sending out a heat ray from time to time, changing Barry's direction. Barry narrowly escaped again and again, and it was dangerous. He knew that as long as he was hit once, it would be game over for him, and now he could only pray that these 2 minutes would pass as soon as possible. Perhaps Barry's luck ran out. When Clark's next heat ray hit, Barry's dodge was only a little slower, and he was swept to his ankle. With a scream, Barry exited the extreme speed state. Losing his balance, he rolled violently on the ground for a certain distance and stopped. That heat ray just swept across the ankle, and took away most of the flesh and blood on Barry's ankle. Severe pain hit, and Barry was covered in cold sweat, hugging his ankle and screaming incessantly. The mother box was also thrown not far away. Seeing Barry stop, a sneer seemed to flash across Black and Clark's ferocious face, and he slowly floated down from the air, picking up the mother box. Seeing the mother box fall into Clark's hands, Barry yelled in his heart that something was wrong, and endured the pain to open the communication. Superman hit me. He got the mother box. In a word, Batman and the others in the fighter jet shrank their pupils and stood up instantly. It's over, guys. I really want to say goodbye this time. Oh no, it should be goodbye. Clark, who picked up the mother box, looked at Barry, who was lying on the ground. His bloodshot eyes began to turn red slowly. He was accumulating heat ray. Barry knew he couldn't dodge the heat ray, and he couldn't use the speed force anymore because of the huge amounts of trauma to his feet. There was really no escape this time. Barry closed his eyes resignedly. At this moment, a voice like the sound of heaven sounded in his headset. Hey, Barry, I see you. Hey, Barry, I saw you. Lin Feng's voice sounded suddenly. The sudden sound made Barry open his eyes again. In the next second, like a meteorite impact, Clark, who was still brewing a heat ray, was knocked away by Lin Feng, who rushed over quickly. With a whistling roar, the muscular body disappeared from Barry's sight in an instant. Only then did the sound of piercing the air sound, and the resulting storm directly cut a gully on Lin Feng's flight route. Unsuspecting Barry and Alan were also thrown hundreds of meters away. Fortunately, Lin Feng caught Barry in time and prevented him from falling firmly. Putting Barry Allen on the ground, Lin Feng threw him a box. It is the last mother box. Just at the moment when it hit Clark, Lin Feng snatched it with quick eyesight and quick hands. Take it, Barry. Barry hurriedly caught the mother box thrown over, and then stared dumbfounded at Lin Feng floating in front of him. Okay. Barry looked in shock at Lin Feng, who was dressed exactly like Superman, except that the color of the battle suit was slightly different, and he even temporarily forgot about the pain in his ankle. Another Superman. Lin Feng nodded. Didn't I say I have Kryptonian blood? But now is not the time to talk about this. Clark is coming back. After greeting, Lin Feng looked solemnly at the direction where Clark was knocked into the air. At this moment Clark has reacted and is flying in this direction. Lin Feng rushed towards Clark's direction with all his strength, trying to pull the battlefield away so as not to hurt Barry. Everyone is Superman, and the flight speed is comparable. Almost in the blink of an eye, the two collided in midair. Clark after blackened seemed to be annoyed by Lin Feng's sneak attack, and his face became even more ferocious. Lin Feng couldn't help wondering, this horse is a zombie Superman, right? How did it turn into such a ghostly look, with its face turning green? Without time to sigh to Lin Feng, Clark directly appeared in front of Lin Feng. A punch with a huge impact blasted out. Not to be outdone, Lin Feng also punched out. Boom! When the two fists meet, the air seems to be detonated, and a strong wind bursts from the junction of the two fists. Terrible destructive power. When the two Supermen confronted each other, the air seemed to be distorted. Seeing that Lin Feng took the fist, Clark's eyes turned red, and in the next second, a heat ray shot towards Lin Feng's head. Lin Feng had already noticed it, and quickly flew upwards, dodging the heat ray. Afterwards, Lin Feng swooped down and punched Clark in the face with his fist full of strength. Boom! Boom! Blackened Clark was directly smashed into the ground by this punch, smashing the hard road into a human-shaped crater. The impact sound spread along with the sound waves. Barry, who was 100 meters away, felt a gust of wind pressure in his face, and couldn't open his eyes. The wind pressure dissipated, and Barry watched this scene in astonishment. The two Supermans were fighting, which was terrifying. "Oh, guys. You guys should really watch this," Barry murmured into his earphones. "It's like two mythical gods fighting." Roar. With a roar, Clark was beaten. Immediately after a bang, a black-red light glowed in the pit. It was the heat ray from Clark, which suddenly shot out from the pit, showing a strange black-red ray. Heat ray is extremely fast, much faster than the previous red heat ray. Lin Feng dodged sideways, heat ray brushed Lin Feng's hair and swept towards the sky. A strand of black hair evaporated into ashes, and Lin Feng's pupils suddenly shrank. Heat ray's power and speed are increasing. Boom! Blackened Clark flew out of the pit, and his image at this moment has changed by huge amounts of compared with before. Clark's whole body was almost bigger than before, his eyes were black and red, his muscles were swollen like they were bursting, and his whole face was green as if it was glowing. He directly looked at Lin Feng as a fool. "I am Nima. What the hell is this riding horse? Clark has mutated again." Without waiting for Lin Feng to think too much, Clark appeared in front of Lin Feng as if teleported. Reaching out as a punch without skill. The speed is too fast, much faster than before. Lin Feng only had time to cross his hands in front of his chest to block it. Boom! This punch sent Lin Feng flying thousands of meters away. Lin Feng only felt a sharp pain and numbness in his arms. There was also a sharp pain in his chest, and a trace of blood dripped from the corner of his mouth. Kankan stabilized his figure, and one after another heat ray swept over. Like a laser cannon, the sky was suddenly filled with black and red light. Lin Feng almost used his flight ability to the extreme, constantly dodging the heat ray. With this level of heat ray, even if Lin Feng is hit, a hole will be opened. Lin Feng was sweating profusely, and shouted in his heart. "System, do you know what happened to Clark? How did he suddenly become so powerful? Why is this like Doomsday? Clark has become Doomsday." The system jumped out and replied, "After Clark is controlled, Blacken will have a state, similar to Berserk, and his combat power will be greatly enhanced in a short period of time. This is also the function of the magic weapon I told you before." Lin Feng narrowly dodged the heat ray, and asked again. "Is there no limit?" "Yes, the system speculates that this state will last for about an hour. As long as it lasts for an hour, the host will have a chance to fight back." "You're talking fart," Lin Feng cursed. "You think I can last an hour?" At the moment, he is highly concentrated, and he will behold when he hits a heat ray game. He didn't expect that heat ray can be used like this. Just like the laser rain that Thomas saw in his previous life, he didn't need to charge up anymore. The system was also silent for a while, and then said, "I don't think you can hold it if this continues." The corners of Lin Feng's eyes twitched. "Then what should we do?" "I have no choice but to start a backup plan," the system said. Lin Feng's eyes lit up, and he was pleasantly surprised. "Do you have a backup plan for the dog system?" "Come on, what plan?" The system coughed twice. "Host, activate tactical retreat." What the hell? Lin Feng had a question mark on his face. He wondered if he heard it wrong. The system continued, "Run away. If you can't beat it, run away." "Are you serious?" Lin Feng had black lines on his face. "Escape. Run away from Batman and the others. I'm going to lose my face to Grandma's house, okay?" The system seemed to have guessed what Lin Feng was thinking, and said directly, "At this time, do you still care about face? Life is more important than face. You are a dog. It was you who asked me to help, and you are the one who asked me to run away now." Lin Feng felt depressed for a while. What if I run away from Barry? Lin Feng asked again. You don't protect yourself, so you still care about his life. The system's voice suddenly became emotionless, and Lin Feng fell silent after hearing this. A slight distraction, Clark seized the opening. With one punch, Lin Feng was directly smashed into the ground, creating a huge hole. Now he enjoys the treatment of Clark before. A surge of energy and blood surged, and Lin Feng spat out a mouthful of blood. He felt that his arms that were resisting the attack had lost consciousness, numbness, and pain. If you don't leave, I'll lose you. The system's cold voice sounded again. Panting heavily, Lin Feng slowly flew out of the pit. Blacken's Clark was floating in midair and stared at Lin Feng. In the next second, both of them had red eyes. Two heat rays, one black and one red, collided together in the air. Lin Feng's heat ray was obviously not as powerful as Clark's, and he was pushed back steadily. Seeing that the heat ray was invalid, Lin Feng stopped the heat ray with a dodge. The black-red heat ray immediately hit the ground, burning a sea of flames. Host, the portal is ready, you can return to the Marvel world at any time. The sound of the system rang in his ears again, making Lin Feng feel like the system was tempting him to run quickly. Lin Feng was speechless for a while. How to go? I want to leave too, but I always feel that I'm leaving, and my conscience can't bear it. Lin Feng shook his head and said. His arrival brought hope to Batman and the others. If he escaped at this time, Lin Feng would have trouble with his conscience, not to mention the embarrassment. He asked himself, he is not such an irresponsible person. Besides, as soon as I walked on my front foot, Barry's designation on my back foot was gone. Escape by himself, and indirectly ruin Barry's life. Thinking of this, Lin Feng's eyes became firm. I can't go. There is no such thing as escaping in our race. Lin Feng roared angrily, directly silencing the system roar. Lin Feng forced himself to calm down, looking for Clark's flaws. It is impossible to escape, and Lin Feng is not without chance. After several rounds of fighting, Lin Feng found that the controlled Clark would only go straight in the fight. There is no mention of combat skills at all. With the right opportunity and angle, it is possible to counterattack. Lin Feng used the dragging tactic without even thinking about it. While flying a kite around Clark, he asked Batman in his headset how long it would take him to arrive. Diana is carrying a kryptonite weapon. As long as the kryptonite weapon arrives, Lin Feng can fight back. Less than 10 minutes. Bruce's voice came. Flying Clark's kite for 10 minutes is not too long. It's daytime and the sun is shining. Lin Feng can take a gamble. Lin Feng's idea is correct, but some people don't want to gamble with Lin Feng. Barry didn't realize that, just as the two Supermans were fighting, a light blue beam of light appeared behind him. Immediately after that, there was a sharp pain in the chest. Barry felt that all the strength in his body was taken away in an instant, leaving only severe pain. It's Steppenwolf. The Steppenwolf was sent by the beam of light, and apart from anything else, he hit Barry with an axe. Almost split Barry in half. Poor Barry was attacked by a surprise before he had time to shout, and his life was dying. Kicking the half-dead Barry away, Steppenwolf picked up the mother box on the ground and showed a satisfied smile. Fighting or something, how can the mother box be important? This is Steppenwolf's goal this time. The end is coming. Steppenwolf shouted, and the two who were fighting in midair looked over at the same time. Clark, follow me. With an order, the beam of light appeared again. Lin Feng saw Barry lying on the ground, with a pool of red blood flowing out from under his body. He was angry and anxious. Don't talk about Wood. Lin Feng's distraction was seized by Clark. With a punch in the waist, Lin Feng was sent flying a long distance again. Clark, on the other hand, obeyed the Steppenwolf's order and flew to the Steppenwolf's side. A light blue beam of light enveloped the two of them, sending them away directly. The mother box is already in hand. There is no need to fight another Superman, there are too many variables. Blanche. Lin Feng flew back with a look of anger, watching the portal disappear but could do nothing. Look at Barry again, fortunately, he still has a breath. Lin Feng hurriedly took out the green vial, and there was still half a bottle of liquid in the bottle. Open the bottle cap and carefully drip it on Barry's chest wound and ankle wound. After a few drops of liquid, Barry's wounds healed faster, and his breathing stabilized again. He touched the wound, moved his ankle again, and sighed in amazement, "You saved me, Superman." At this moment, Barry wanted to cry very much. God knows how much pressure he has been under during this period of time. In the end, hope was finally ushered in, but he was attacked by the Steppenwolf with a knife, and his life was in danger. Life is full of ups and downs. Now Barry just wants to cry a lot, take a hot bath, and eat a good meal. However, his dream could not be realized for the time being. Things got worse. Lin Feng sat down on the ground and took a rest. He looked up at the sky, and said solemnly, "Things have gotten worse. Barry." The mother box was taken away by them. This can be said to be Lin Feng's first difficult battle after obtaining Superman ability. However, the ending was not satisfactory. Steppenwolf still took the mother box. Lin Feng thought he could stop it all. The reality taught him a harsh lesson. But Lin Feng wasn't too disappointed. After all, compared to the original book, this event is full of variables. And Clark is the biggest variable among them. The black fighter plane slowly landed in front of the two of them from the sky. Batman and the others arrived late. Bruce stepped out of the fighter plane in a battle suit, followed by Diana and the others. He saw the two people sitting on the ground, and the faces of the two at the moment were not very good looking. Looking around, there are irregular potholes everywhere, obviously a big battle just happened here. Without seeing the mother box, Bruce's expression became serious. "Oh man, you are finally here." Barry almost couldn't help crying when he saw the arrival of several people. Bruce nodded, "Thank you for your hard work. Barry, you are not injured." Barry jumped up. "I almost died. It was Lin Feng who cured me with a strange liquid. Oh no, the magic liquid." Seeing that Barry was bouncing around like someone who had nothing to do, Bruce ignored him and looked at Lin Feng instead. Lin Feng from at the moment looked a bit embarrassed. The hair is messy, the face is a little blue, but it is fading, and the battle suit on the body has many damages and scratches. Without waiting for Bruce to say anything, Lin Feng said directly, "The situation is getting worse, Bruce. Clark is much stronger than before after being controlled, and the mother box was taken away by them." Hearing this, Bruce's face sank again, as expected. Diana also ran over, and she keenly noticed Lin Feng's injury. "Lin Feng, are you injured?" She gave up her weapon and stepped forward to examine Lin Feng's wound. Under the damaged battle suit, there were wounds exuding black and red aura, which were ferocious and unwilling to heal. Blood is also slowly oozing out. Blackened plus berserk, Clark's heat ray is like magic, making it impossible for Lin Feng, who has a Superman physique, to heal quickly. Lin Feng turned to look at Diana and smiled slightly. He nodded and said, "Don't worry, I'm fine." Immediately afterwards, he turned his head to look at Bruce again, and said, "I'm sorry, Bruce, I couldn't keep the mother box." Bruce just nodded calmly. "It's not your fault, Lin Feng, we still have a chance. Let's get on the fighter plane first. Tell me what happened in detail." Bruce really didn't mean to blame Lin Feng. It was not easy for Lin Feng to save Jolly from Clark. Hearing Bruce's words, Lin Feng shook his head. He was going to treat the wound. Clark's black and red heat ray seems to be magical. Make the healing of your injuries extremely slow. Let Barry tell you. He knows everything. Lin Feng said, "I'm going to outer space. Without the barrier of the atmosphere, the strong solar radiation will make my wound heal quickly." Lin Feng explained, "When I recover, I will go to you." Bruce also knows what the sun does to Superman. So he nodded and said, "Okay, you are ready, go to my base. This is the address of the base." Bruce took out a card out of nowhere, with a line written on it. "Hurry up, we don't have much time," Bruce added. Lin Feng took the card, nodded to Bruce and the others, and quickly flew into the air, disappearing from everyone's sight. Seeing Lin Feng flying away, several people looked at each other. "I vaguely feel that Lin Feng's mood seems to be a bit wrong," Bruce said to Diana and the others. "Give him some time." Then he led several people onto the fighter plane and flew towards the base. On the fighter plane, Bruce handed Barry a bottle of water. "Barry, tell me what happened in detail." Barry nodded, and described what happened word by word. The thrilling and changeable process made several people frown. After a long while, Barry finished his narration dryly. picked up the water bottle and gulped it down. Bruce concluded. In other words, the controlled Clark has become stronger. Then during Lin Feng's fight with Clark, Steppenwolf appeared and snatched the mother box. Barry nodded. That's about it. It's getting more and more difficult. Bruce looked serious. He thought Lin Feng's appearance could counter Clark. But he didn't expect that Clark could become even stronger, coupled with the threat of the Steppenwolf. Bruce just felt a pain between his brows. Several other people were also lost in thought, digesting this information. Diana looked at a few people and said, "It's not Lin Feng's fault that the mother box was taken away. It's beyond all of our expectations." As soon as the words came out, Bruce knew what Diana was worried about. She was afraid that she would blame Lin Feng for taking the mother box away. He said affirmatively, "No one will blame Lin Feng. On the contrary, I would like to thank Lin Feng. If it wasn't for him, Barry and I might not be here anymore." Aquaman and Victor nodded in agreement. Indeed, the help Lin Feng brought was very great. Lin Feng cannot be blamed for unexpected events. If you want to blame, you can only blame the fighter plane for flying too slowly. If he had arrived earlier and used kryptonite to restrain Clark, then there might be another ending now. "The matter hasn't reached the point of no return," said Victor, who had been silent all the time. "It will take some time to assemble the 3 mother boxes, and we still have a chance." Seeing a few people looking over, Victor emphasized word by word, "It's also the last chance." In space, open the green vial. Lin Feng suffocates the remaining liquid in one gulp. At the moment of entrance, huge life force flows through the whole body along Lin Feng's veins. Cooperating with the sun's radiation, the wound burned by the heat ray is slowly healing. While recovering, Lin Feng thought about his next move. According to the plot in the original book, the assembly of the 3 mother boxes will take a certain amount of time. I remember that in the original book, it took only a few hours for Steppenwolf to assemble the mother box. The 3 mother boxes were integrated together, and finally with the help of Barry, Victor entered the interior of the mother box and separated the 3 mother boxes again. This is the plot of the original work, in which Clark is one of his own. And now, Clark is the enemy. The single biggest threat that needs to be dealt with is Superman Clark. I can only fly a kite towards Clark. But Clark now obeyed Steppenwolf. If Clark doesn't care about himself, he will directly kill Batman and the others one by one. Then the mission will undoubtedly fail, and the world will usher in the end. The most important question is how to counter the Berserk Clark. Lin Feng found that the Berserk Clark liked to use heat ray attacks very much, and he didn't punch a few times. Then how to put kryptonite handcuffs on him has become a huge amount of problem. Dog system. Lin Feng shouted. System. Why? Is there a way to make me stronger temporarily? Lin Feng asked. Is there any affordable one in the store that can make me stronger in a short time? System. No. Such a big store doesn't even have temporary buffs. System. I mean there is nothing you can afford. After hearing this, Lin Feng had a dull and helpless expression. More than 10 million points can't afford a temporary buff. Do I really want to take Clark's kite again? Okay. I won't tease you anymore, the system's voice sounded again. Seeing Lin Feng's helpless and embarrassed look, the system laughed out loud. There are buffs, but I have a better solution here. Actually, the multiple choice questions asked the host before, whether to escape or stay, is to observe the host's heart and sense of responsibility. To be precise, it is to confirm whether the host's 3 views are correct. This is a psychic test. If you pass the test, a system-bound novice gift package will be issued. Hearing this, Lin Feng was taken aback for a moment. In an instant, his face became eccentric, a big gift package for beginners. I'll tell you what's missing. That's right, why is there no novice gift package for my binding system? Shouldn't this be a standard configuration? You still have to take the whole Xingxing test. Lin Feng was speechless and angry, wanting to curse. Are you naive or not? The dog system said, hey, this system can't be blamed. Isn't it because you haven't found a chance to test your heart and sense of responsibility, the host? When the host makes a choice, the system can detect the host's true thoughts and attitudes. The subconscious choice at this time can best reflect whether a person's 3 views are correct. You can feel it too. If it wasn't for the appearance of Steppenwolf, you would be pierced by Clark's demonized heat ray within 3 minutes. Lin Feng nodded. Indeed, Clark's heat ray had injured many parts of his body. The wound was unbearably painful, and Lin Feng didn't even utter a sound of pain. The system continued, the host should not underestimate this small test. If the test fails, not only will there not be a novice gift package, but the system will also be unlocked soon. As soon as these words came out, Lin Feng broke into a cold sweat. He didn't expect that it was just a small choice, and the result he got was so different. Fortunately, I passed the test, otherwise the system would be unbound. Who would I cry to? Okay, the novice gift pack is a special gift pack for Superman. It has been sent to the system warehouse, the host should go and have a look. The system said. It contains what you need most right now. Hearing this, Lin Feng couldn't wait to open the system warehouse. Sure enough, I saw a package sample shining golden light. After clicking to open it, there are 4 gemstones of the same color in pairs. There are also 2 smooth silver wristbands with strange textures. Finally, there was a card that shone with silver light. Lin Feng checked the properties of these items one by one. Special red kryptonite. It can significantly strengthen Superman's various ability values in a short period of time, 4 hours. Special platinum kryptonite. Allows ordinary people to possess all Superman abilities within a short period of time, 2 hours. Superman bracers. Made of special metal materials, can be inlaid with various ability gems, and transmit the power of the gems to the wearer. Seeing this, Lin Feng's eyes almost glowed. Good stuff, all good stuff. Whether it's a wristband or 2 kryptonite, it's almost a perfect match. Lin Feng. As expected of a Superman gift pack, the items inside are all related to Superman. When Lin Feng saw the last silver card, Lin Feng fell silent. Immediately afterwards, Lin Feng's body kept shaking. Silver Superman Experience Card. As the name suggests, you can experience the powerful strength of Silver Superman. Time limit, 4 hours. Just seeing the name of the card, one can tell how happy Lin Feng is. If it weren't for the absence of air in space, Lin Feng would have laughed out loud. Good guy, isn't this giving yourself a helping hand? Silver Superman. All of a sudden the shotgun is replaced by a cannon, and the 3 rounds become a big sprint. Lin Feng couldn't help imitating Barry and sighed. Life is full of ups and downs. Next time I see Clark, I'm going to hit him 10. The Silver Superman in the comics often has incredible various super abilities. This card of Lin Feng can only experience the basic abilities of Silver Superman, such as super flight, super stamina and so on. But it was enough to knock down the raging Clark. There is nothing to say about 2 kinds of kryptonite. Platinum kryptonite can be worn by Susan, activated when encountering danger, and can also make Lin Feng feel at ease about Susan's safety. Not to mention the wristband, as you can see from the description, it is basically worn for the convenience of kryptonite. After the joy, Lin Feng gradually calmed down. He thought for a moment, and took out a special red kryptonite and a Superman wristband from his backpack. There would still be a fight between him and Clark. But this time the battle will not be as hasty as before. The Silver Superman Experience Card is very precious, there is only one, and you can use it or not. Use the special red kryptonite first to see how far you can strengthen. In addition, the degree of restraint of green kryptonite on Clark is much higher than that of Lin Feng. Even if you don't use the Silver Superman Experience Card, you basically have the chance to win, so there's no need to waste it. Superman's wristbands are silver and white, about 3 or 4 centimeters wide. There are many horizontal and vertical lines on it. The color of the texture is very light, full of sense of technology. Lin Feng tried to bring the special red kryptonite close to Superman's bracer. In the next second, the surface of the Superman watch surged like flowing water. Slowly form an oval depression. Lin Feng gently placed the kryptonite in the depression, and it was firmly sucked in instantly. The pattern on the wristband also quickly turned into a glowing red. After about 2 or 3 seconds, the light slowly disappeared, but the lines had turned into a faint dark red. It's a magical wristband, just like Tony's nanotechnology in Avengers Alliance 3 in the movie, which can be shape-shifted arbitrarily. Lin Feng said this is great. After wearing the wristband on his left hand, the wristband immediately adjusted its size to better fit Lin Feng's wrist. At the same time, the method of using the wristband and a message prompt also appeared in Lin Feng's mind. And that prompt is to ask Lin Feng if he uses special red kryptonite. After Lin Feng chose not to use it temporarily, he adjusted the color of the wristband to black. This is also one of the functions of the bracer. Lin Feng likes black, but not very interested in silver. The black wristband is paired with dark red kryptonite, and there are faint dark red lines. The visual effect is very good. It is worth mentioning that the moment Lin Feng put on the wristband, Lin Feng found that the speed at which he was receiving solar radiation was significantly accelerated. Lin Feng was a little surprised. This wristband can actually enhance his absorption of the yellow fixed star radiation. What a surprise! While Lin Feng was studying the wristband, many wounds on his body had healed, leaving no trace of injury. Repaired the black Superman battle suit for 10,000 Rp. Lin Feng flew towards Blue Star again. According to the address given by Bruce, Lin Feng soon arrived at Bruce's base. Several people from at the moment are enjoying dinner in the restaurant. But the face is not very good. Lin Feng landed slowly, attracting the attention of several people. He looked at Bruce and others and smiled slightly. "Hey, guys, do you have my share?" Seeing Lin Feng came back, Bruce looked slightly relaxed, and made a joke. "Does Superman still need to eat?" Lin Feng laughed and sat down next to Diana. It's better to be next to beautiful women than to be next to some muscular men, isn't it? Definitely, food is more than just filling the stomach. The butler, Ah Fu, was holding a plate and placed it in front of Lin Feng. "Master Lin Feng, your dinner." "Thanks, Alfred." Lin Feng smiled and nodded, expressing his gratitude. "Lin Feng, is your injury healed?" Seeing Lin Feng acting like a normal person, Diana couldn't help asking. Lin Feng nodded at her. "There is nothing serious. How is the situation now? Have you found the location of the Steppenwolf?" One sentence silenced the crowd again. They had no way to find the mother box. Unlike Steppenwolf, the mother box can be perceived by him after being activated. Bruce shook his head, while Victor said, "I can feel the mother box, but I can't see his position." "Okay." Lin Feng smacked his lips. He was not surprised. "I might know where they are." As soon as these words came out, several people stopped the knives and forks in their hands, and all stared at Lin Feng closely, waiting for Lin Feng to continue talking. The abandoned nuclear power plant in North Bear Country. Seeing several people staring at them, Lin Feng said an address lightly. Batman and the others looked at each other. Lin Feng would not joke at this time. Diana knew something about the place, and she confirmed, the nuclear power plant that had a nuclear accident 30 years ago. Lin Feng nodded. Barry couldn't help but interjected, "That place can't even enter the soldiers. Intense radiation can make a foot grow out of your neck." "You're right, Barry." Lin Feng nodded and said, "But now the radiation is gone." Steppenwolf collected radiation to build his base. "Bruce, don't you have a satellite? Just take a look at it." Hearing what Lin Feng said, Bruce got up and left without eating. Several people looked at each other and followed. "What are you eating at this time? Blue Star is about to be destroyed. Do not hold back the power of unity, this meal is the last supper." Bruce led everyone to a workshop and started operating in front of a bunch of instruments. After a while, the screen lit up. A series of data slid by, and soon, the nuclear power plant in Beixiong Country was located. Everyone can see through the satellite that the shape of the nuclear power plant has changed. "Here it is," Diana said. "What is he building?" Aquaman couldn't understand. Satellite pictures show that there are huge amounts of barriers on the nuclear power plant. A barrier hangs over the entire nuclear power plant. It should be a layer of protection, protecting the power of unity inside. Bruce said solemnly, "This is the barrier that the mother box is integrating. The best way is to attack from above." Diana turned to look at Bruce and asked, "Then how do we separate the mother box?" "Dynamite cannot separate the mother box, it will only bring energy to the mother box, strengthening them. Indeed, the mother box can absorb and transform energy, and I want to use conventional explosives to separate the mother box." Unrealistic. At this time, Victor with a mechanical body stepped forward and said in a deep voice, "I'm coming." As soon as the words fell, everyone looked at Victor. Victor nodded, and explained in a deep voice, "I will enter the mother box and integrate with them." Weaken their links so that they can be disassembled. Diana shook her head. This is not a good way, you need to face the power of unity alone, and you don't know what will happen inside. Do you have a better way? Victor looked at Diana calmly. Diana stared at Victor seriously and continued, the power of the 3 mother boxes is enough to destroy the world. As long as you reveal a flaw, they will get into your head and destroy you. Victor said indifferently, just let me in and buy time. You're going to die, Victor. If we don't, we'll all die. Didn't you want me to use my super abilities? Now is the time to use them. I lost everything and I have nothing to fear, Victor said. Although there are some discrepancies between the current plot and the original. But Victor's father died anyway. Victor has been fighting back his emotions after losing his last loved one. He needs to vent now, needs revenge. Diana stopped talking, and she didn't know what to say. All right. In this case, are we going to prepare to attack the Steppenwolf's base? Barry said. Aquaman stepped forward to echo. That's right, go deep into hell and fight the devil and his legion. Barry was still a little worried. The Steppenwolf you mentioned probably fought thousands of superheroes among the thousands of planets he destroyed, right? Assuming he wins, then our chances of winning. I don't care how many demons he fought in how many hells. Bruce interrupted Barry directly. At the moment his eyes were full of firm belief. He didn't hit us. We are united. Hearing Bruce's firm words, several people fell silent, looked at each other, and then nodded. Okay, I have one last question. Are we still going to face Clark? Barry asked with some fear. The former Clark was his idol, and now this idol has become his nightmare. In his perception, no one on Blue Star has the courage to face Da Chao. Not to mention that the current Clark has become more powerful. After Barry asked this question, the gazes of the few people couldn't help looking at Lin Feng, who hadn't spoken the whole time. It goes without saying that in this team, Lin Feng is the only one who can face Clark directly. Lin Feng nodded and said, it's not a big problem, I'll hold Clark back. Diana, give Barry the kryptonite weapon. When I restrain Clark, Barry, you will put the kryptonite handcuffs on him. Very good solution, but Barry is a bit shy. Hearing Lin Feng call out his name and ask him to handcuff Clark, an uncontrollable fear flashed in his heart. Me? Oh man, no. It's okay, just let you use the speed force to put handcuffs on him, it's very simple. While speaking, Lin Feng stepped forward and patted Barry on the shoulder. Besides, I'm holding Clark down. You can do it, can't you? Man, believe in yourself, you're a superhero. With Lin Feng's words, Barry was a little overwhelmed. He muttered dully, I am superhero, I am superhero. Don't blame Barry. If a Superman calls him a superhero, it's inevitable that Barry will be excited from the bottom of his heart. Seeing Lin Feng limping Barry, Diana also shook her head and laughed. Lin Feng was right. Lin Feng restrained Clark, and Barry handcuffed him. This is the easiest and least risky course of action for Barry. Pushing the lead box into Barry's hand, Diana smiled and said, it's up to you, superhero. Barry couldn't find himself anymore. Bruce was a little funny seeing this scene. At least the atmosphere before the war was good, wasn't it? Okay, it's time for us to go. Inside the abandoned nuclear power plant, the soaring red energy formed a barrier. 3 mother boxes floated in front of Steppenwolf, and beside him stood Clark with red eyes. Finally, here is the moment I've been waiting for so long. Steppenwolf was as devout as if he was performing some ritual. Get ready for his arrival. I will be redeemed. Steppenwolf couldn't suppress his excitement, he had waited too long for this moment. Integrate. Integrate into one. The 3 mother boxes collided with dazzling light. Under the expectant eyes of Steppenwolf, the mother box started the integration process. Integrate sent out a sound wave, which quickly spread to the whole world, as if to herald something. At the same time, the Atlanteans, the daughters of the Amazons, all looked in the direction of the mother box in a daze. A feeling of heart palpitations, accompanied by a breath of despair, rushed towards him. In the nuclear power plant, demons flew down one after another. They kneeled respectfully in front of the mother box, waiting for Darkseid's arrival. Just when the group of demons knelt down, boom! There was a roar of shells, followed by a second, and a third. The red barrier above the head vibrated violently. Steppenwolf looked up. A big hole has been blasted out of the barrier, and a huge black fighter plane broke in. It is Batman et al. The annoying bugs are coming. Steppenwolf picked up the axe. Dare to disturb Darkseid's arrival at this time, and successfully ignited the anger of the Steppenwolf. Clark! Cried Steppenwolf. Not one left. With an order, Clark's eyes glowed red, and he fired a heat ray at the fighter plane. However, another heat ray shot from the oblique stab. Before the fighter plane was hit, it knocked Clark into the air. It was Lin Feng, who got off the plane ahead of time. The fighter plane landed smoothly, and Batman and Diana jumped out of the fighter plane one after another. Lin Feng went straight to Clark. Barry hid behind a building and took out the kryptonite handcuffs, constantly cheering himself up. Batman, Diana, and Victor marched forward against the Steppenwolf. Countless demon-like creatures dragged a few people back. Steppenwolf shouted, "Clark, solve the battle as soon as possible." Roar. Clark, who received the order, roared angrily. I saw the muscles on his body soar again. In an instant, the berserk Clark of the previous few days reappeared. With a ferocious face facing Lin Feng, Clark exerted force on his feet and flew towards Lin Feng with a bang. Well done, Lin Feng shouted in his heart, and the Superman wristband on his wrist lit up with a dazzling red light. Huge energy poured into Lin Feng's Superman body. Despite the influx of energy, Lin Feng felt stronger than ever. The special red kryptonite more than doubled Lin Feng's ability. He remembered a sentence. You are being strengthened. Come on. Facing Clark, Lin Feng punched out. Clark, who was easily beating Lin Feng during the day, was directly sent flying by this punch, hitting a building not far away. Immediately afterwards, a thick almost substantial heat ray hit Clark. Lin Feng's heat ray pushed Clark directly to open a hole in the structure. Make Clark fly directly out of the nuclear power plant. While you are sick, I will kill you. Lin Feng jumped out of the hole and chased after Clark. Barry stared dumbfounded at the huge hole. What's the situation? Lin Feng has also become stronger. When he came back to his senses, Barry disappeared in the same place in an instant, and ran out after Lin Feng. He didn't forget that his task was to assist Lin Feng and put kryptonite handcuffs on Clark. Roar. Clark, who was knocked into the air, roared again, stabilizing his figure in the air. Although Lin Feng's heat ray didn't cause him fatal damage, it caused severe pain. Clark became angry, and a black-red heat ray shot out instantly. Lin Feng didn't flinch, and a red heat ray shot out. The two heat rays meet in the air, just like the scene during the day. However, the difference is that this time Lin Feng and heat ray didn't flinch in the slightest. The huge energy brought by red kryptonite seems inexhaustible. A steady stream poured into Lin Feng's body. Boom! A violent explosion occurred at the docking point of the heat ray, creating a strong hurricane. Seeing that the heat ray failed, Clark rushed to Lin Feng again and threw out a punch. Lin Feng easily dodged sideways and punched back with a charged punch. With a bang, Clark was sent flying again, hitting the ground directly. Clark, who has no self-awareness, seems to have lost his combat experience. Lin Feng seized the opportunity and followed suit. He walked around behind Clark, and stretched out his hands from Clark's armpits to wrap around his back. It is directly an overhead, controlling Clark. At the same time, he shouted loudly, "Barry! Take advantage of this time." Clark's strength was enormous, and Lin Feng couldn't control him for too long. The opportunity was fleeting, and Barry, who heard Lin Feng shouting, was calm and cautious like never before. Lightning flashed on him, and everything around him slowed down, as if standing still. While running, Barry took out kryptonite handcuffs from the lead box and rushed towards Clark. A terrifying scene appeared, and Clark turned his head slowly. The black and red light in the eyes appeared again, aiming at Barry. Under Barry's frightened gaze, Lin Feng made the first move. He hit Clark on the back of the head with a head hammer. Clark's head suddenly dropped. Heat ray was also disconnected. Barry ran to Clark, not having the courage to look at Clark's hideous face. A pair of kryptonite handcuffs clicked and were put on Clark's wrist. At the same time, there was no time to stop the sprinting trend, and after directly knocking Clark and Lin Feng into the air, Barry quit the Speed Force. Roar! Clark roared again, then knelt down. At the moment, the bulging veins on his arms slowly turned green. The whole body was shaking uncontrollably. Kryptonite handcuffs are in effect. Clark lost his fighting power, knelt on the ground and howled in pain. Lin Feng let out a long sigh of relief, and looked at Barry. Well done, Barry. The process went very smoothly without any surprises. With the failure during the day, Lin Feng could listen to all directions and see all directions. I'm afraid that there will be another accident and give myself a head-on blow. It's too late to take a break. Batman and the others are still fighting Steppenwolf, and they have to go back to help. You wait here for Victor's signal, I'll go meet Steppenwolf. Lin Feng said again to Barry. Victor needs huge amounts of electricity to get inside the mother box. And this requires Barry to run near the speed of light to assist Victor. Seeing that Barry nodded in agreement, Lin Feng immediately took off and flew back to the nuclear power plant. In the nuclear power plant, Bruce constantly wandered among the demons, destroying them. Fiends are vulnerable to Batman. It's just that the number is too large, which makes Bruce feel a little tricky. Victor was standing in front of the mother box, with multiple black lines in his hands, trying to enter the inside of the mother box. And Diana and Aquaman are besieging Steppenwolf, but things aren't looking too good. Steppenwolf was too strong for the two of them. When the axe went down, Aquaman was directly thrown out and lay on the ground. I couldn't get up for half a day. Aquaman was speechless. Ever since Steppenwolf came to Earth, it seems like he's been getting beaten. Seeing that the Steppenwolf swung his axe and was about to strike at Diana again. Lin Feng rushed forward and kicked out. The speed directly exceeded the speed of sound. With one kick, the Steppenwolf was embedded in the wall. Lifting Diana up, Lin Feng looked up and shouted, Victor. Barry is ready. How are you? Immediately, Victor, who heard the news, lifted his spirits and sped up his movements. Diana gasped and looked at Lin Feng. How is Clark? Lin Feng replied with a smile, It's going well, I have lost my fighting power. Real. Hearing that Clark had lost his combat effectiveness, Diana couldn't help but smile. This is the biggest good news since the Steppenwolves invaded Blue Star. The Steppenwolf lost its greatest strength. The balance of victory has been tilted to the human side. Steppenwolf fell from the wall, panting heavily. As soon as Lin Feng came out, he saw Lin Feng's Superman battle suit. Originally, he didn't pay much attention to this new Kryptonian. After all, he still has Clark as a big killer. However, after two people went out, only Lin Feng came back alone. This made Steppenwolf feel bad. Clark, cried Steppenwolf. Clark, where have you been? After barking twice, seeing that Clark still didn't show up, Steppenwolf's face became ugly. After a moment of hesitation, Steppenwolf took out a black box. This is his magic weapon to control Clark. From a mysterious man who cooperates with his master, Darkseid. The black box is not damaged at all. The black aura surrounding it has not disappeared. That is to say, control of Clark was not lost. Steppenwolf couldn't figure it out. Why doesn't Clark show up? Seeing Steppenwolf shouting there, Lin Feng slowly floated over. Seeing the black Superman battle suit on Lin Feng's body, Steppenwolf's expression became even uglier. Another Kryptonian. Lin Feng crossed his arms and snorted coldly. Stop barking, Clark has returned to normal. He's not under your control anymore. Steppenwolf. That's impossible. Steppenwolf looked at the box in his hand again, it was intact. Oh. Lin Feng tilted his head and smiled, you don't believe it. Then why didn't Clark show up? Steppenwolf couldn't refute it anymore, and he knew that there was a high probability that what the Kryptonian in front of him said was true. Kryptonians. Steppenwolf cursed with a gloomy ugly face. He remembered the black-robed human who gave him the black box. The human in the black robe. I knew he couldn't be trusted. Steppenwolf angrily threw the black box on the ground and stepped on it. Now that Clark is out of control, what's the use of this thing? Kayla. The box shattered, and a trace of black smoke drifted in the wind. In an instant, a gust of wind blew past, as if something had been lifted. Lin Feng looked at the crushed box, his eyes flashed, and he had some guesses in his heart. Could this be what the system said, can control Clark's magic weapon? Sure enough, the next second, Barry's voice sounded in the headset. Hey guys. Clark seems to be back to normal. For a moment, Lin Feng's expression was extremely exciting. Barry, I'm Lin Feng. Lin Feng called into the headset. Take off the kryptonite handcuffs for him. Pick it now. Do you want to confirm again? Barry had some hesitation, and he saw the black and red light in Clark's eyes dissipate. The green glowing chain also changed back to its normal color. But he was still a little afraid to take off the handcuffs. He was afraid that if he took off the handcuffs, Clark would punch him again. Obviously, Barry had a shadow on Clark. Hearing Barry's hesitation, Lin Feng couldn't help but want to laugh. Don't worry, Barry. I've confirmed that the thing controlling Clark has been destroyed. Lin Feng's words were like a reassurance. Barry breathed a sigh of relief. Thank goodness. I'll take it off for him. Hearing the conversation between Lin Feng and his teammates, Steppenwolf was puzzled at first, and then suddenly came to his senses. He was played. Clark was only temporarily restrained, not out of control. And he personally destroyed the black box controlling Clark. Angry, he raised his axe and rushed towards Lin Feng. Steppenwolf shouted, for Darkseid. Seeing an axe cut over. Just as Lin Feng was about to dodge, he seemed to think of something. He stayed where he was, just turning his head sideways. He wanted to restore the plot in the original book. I don't know if this counts as helping the world line to end. Boom. Steppenwolf's battle axe hit Lin Feng's left shoulder. Lin Feng just felt like being hit by a baby with a stick. No injuries, not even the slightest pain. That's all. Lin Feng sneered, learned the original work, turned his head slightly and let out a breath of cold air towards the battle axe. The tomahawk freezes at a speed visible to the naked eye. Boom. Lin Feng smashed the battle axe into pieces with one punch. Steppenwolf looked at his hands in disbelief, and then at Lin Feng. In a panic, he was about to punch, but Lin Feng kicked him far away. The Steppenwolf that fell to the ground hammered the ground angrily. He stood up and charged towards Lin Feng again. Lin Feng was not afraid at all, and flew head-on. The Steppenwolf's attack didn't break his defense. The Steppenwolf swung its claws and grabbed Lin Feng. However, in Lin Feng's eyes, it was like slow motion, and he easily avoided it. Taking advantage of the momentum and blasting out with a punch, Steppenwolf was sent flying again, and flew straight in Diana's direction. Seeing the Steppenwolf flying towards her, Diana shouted loudly. The two guardian silver bracelets collided fiercely. Hum. With a crisp sound, the sound waves scattered, and the Steppenwolf was sent flying again, falling towards Aquaman. Seeing the momentum, Aquaman swept away the army. The trident in his hand slammed on the Steppenwolf's waist. Like a volleyball, Steppenwolf flew out again and returned to Lin Feng's direction. He was hit back and forth like a volleyball by several people, helpless. Lin Feng faced the Steppenwolf, and directly punched him into the sky. Then the figure rose rapidly, overtook Steppenwolf in the air, and punched him to the ground again. The development is completely in accordance with the original film. Before the Steppenwolf got up, Lin Feng landed and punched out again. Then his eyes glowed red, and he fired a heat ray at the Steppenwolf. Steppenwolf howled in pain. The armor on his body was constantly disintegrated under the heat of the heat ray. Heat ray's scorching temperature directly swept off one corner of the Steppenwolf, and the painful Steppenwolf let out a loud cry again. With another punch, Steppenwolf was completely stunned and couldn't recover for a long time. After solving the Steppenwolf, Victor also connected to the power of Unity. Barry, I'm connected to the Unity force. He yelled. I need a lot of electric current to get in. Victor said grimly. He can only connect to the Unity force for a short time and needs Barry's help to get into the mother box. Immediately, Barry, who kept circling outside, received the message. He headed straight for Victor with a blue-white electric light. Clark flew behind him, escorting him. Barry, where are you? Victor seemed to have not heard Barry's answer, and was still calling out loudly. The mother box is about to be integrated, and he can't get in without electricity. Barry was still running with his head bowed, constantly cheering for himself. Just when the mother box is about to fully integrate. Along with the sound, a circular blue portal appeared not far from the mother box. Lin Feng, Diana, and Aquaman stepped forward one after another, looking at the portal warily. But Lin Feng knew in his heart that Darkseid should have arrived. The portal gradually formed, revealing the scene inside. As expected, on the other side of the portal, several monsters turned around one after another. It was Darkseid and his two men. "Host, be careful. It's an exile." The system's voice suddenly jumped out. The system's words made Lin Feng's pupils shrink. He noticed a person next to Darkseid. That was a character that was not in the original book, and he was covered in a black robe. There was no face to be seen, no male or female. Lin Feng knew in his heart that he should be the exile in the system's mouth. Seeing Lin Feng looking over, the black robe seemed to notice his gaze. Lin Feng used the see-through ability, but he couldn't see through the black robe at all, which made his heart sink. The system didn't exaggerate, his see-through ability couldn't see through the exile's coat. Inside the portal, Darkseid looked at the scene outside expressionlessly. A Kryptonian, a woman with the power of the old gods, and an Atlantean with a trident. This reminded him of the Long War. He is waiting for the mother box to fully integrate before stepping out of the portal. Darkseid noticed that Victor was trying his best to prevent the integration of the mother box, but his heart was very calm. He doesn't think that the Blue Star civilization can prevent the integration of the mother box. You see, isn't this about to fail soon? Darkseid has been searching for the anti-life program for countless years. He didn't care about waiting a little longer. "Barry!" Victor shouted again, sweating coldly. "It's almost too late. The integrate will be completed soon." The voice just came out. In the next second, time seemed to stand still. Everyone was almost still in place. Lin Feng had a thought, he has super speed. Instantly realized that this was Barry coming in. Turn around and look. Sure enough, Barry came galloping from outside the nuclear power plant. Above him, a restored Superman, Clark, escorted him. Seeing Lin Feng looking over, Clark looked at him in a complicated way. Then he nodded and continued to follow Barry. In the original book, Barry was hit by a monster, which almost caused the destruction of Blue Star. Barry, who was escorted by Superman, did not make this mistake again. He successfully touched Victor and transmitted the electricity to him. In an instant, Barry entered the mother box. He was not fooled by the trap inside the mother box, and forcibly pulled the three transformed figures of the mother box to the two sides. All this happened in the blink of an eye. When everyone reacted, the mother box that was about to integrate was divided into three again, and it returned to the state where the integration was just started. "Lin Feng!" Victor shouted loudly. His strength alone cannot cut off the power they are connected to. Lin Feng, who has read the original work, definitely understands what he means. He dodged and rushed over, pushing the two mother boxes with both hands, exerting force outward. Lin Feng, under the blessing of red kryptonite, is much stronger than Clark in the original book. Just a bang. Almost without much effort, the connection between the three mother boxes was instantly disconnected and fell to the ground. Returned to the inactive state. Steppenwolf at the moment finally recovered a bit and stood up. He touched his head, his hands were covered with blood, and he felt a burst of pain and dizziness. The scale armor on the upper body has been broken by heat ray, revealing the body behind the neighbor. Darkseid stood behind the portal, looking at him indifferently. The mother box also returned to the inactive state, declaring his failure. Steppenwolf only felt ashamed. In front of his master, once again humiliated. Roar! He yelled at Lin Feng and the others angrily, full of unwillingness in his heart. He destroyed countless worlds, but fell on a small blue star. Still under the gaze of Darkseid, so embarrassed. All he could do was roar, venting the anger in his heart. In the next second, the roaring stopped abruptly. Aquaman, who doesn't talk about martial arts, directly sacrifices a halberd from behind. Stabbed the Steppenwolf to the core. Blood flowed down the trident, and severe pain swept Steppenwolf's body. Lin Feng, who respects the original work, stepped forward quickly. Punched Steppenwolf towards the portal. Diana relayed, jumped up and chopped down, and cut off the ugly head of Steppenwolf. Under a set of small combos from everyone, the body and head of the Steppenwolf fell into the portal separately. I rolled a few times. Darkseid stepped on the still rolling head and forcefully. The only remaining horn of the Steppenwolf was also trampled off, the light in his eyes was lost, and he lost his breath. This battle to invade Blue Star ended with Blue Star's complete victory. Lin Feng, Batman, Diana and others walked to the portal and looked at Darkseid from afar. The meaning is very clear: you come, you will stay here forever. Darkseid was panting heavily, his anger couldn't be suppressed, he failed again. The mother box was separated, and the portal that lost energy slowly closed. What no one noticed was a black thread so tiny that it was almost invisible quietly slipped into Lin Feng's body, avoiding everyone's sight. Watching the portal close, Darkseid turned his head to look at the figure completely covered by the black robe beside him. He suppressed his anger. Exile. Is this what you said there would be no accidents? A harsh and sharp voice came from under the black robe. Are you questioning me, Darkseid? Darkseid stared angrily at the black robe, no longer speaking. He still has a place for the exile, he doesn't want to mess with the exile. Relax. The exile's sharp voice sounded again. That troublemaker will have a hard time. After finishing speaking, the exile slowly disappeared in place, leaving only Darkseid with nowhere to vent his anger. I told you a long time ago, Darkseid said in a deep voice, the Steppenwolf will fail. My master, the mother box is now destroyed. How do you get your prize back? Darkseid gave him a cold look. The anti-life program has been found, I will get him at all costs. Even the old way. With the closing of the portal, Lin Feng heard the pleasant sound of reward from the system. Congratulations to the host, successfully completing the task of saving the 600th world. Now settle the reward. This time the host has obtained 10 million mission reputations. Evaluation of this mission. Grade A, award 10 million reputation points. Gift from World Closure, 8 million points. The host has gained a total of 28 million reputation points. Nice. Lin Feng was surprised. I didn't expect to give so many reputation points. A full 28 million points. Sure enough, high risk comes with high reward. Lin Feng sighed, this wave of blood has earned. Plus my original 10 million. Lin Feng now has a reputation worth over 40 million. It's just around the corner to redeem the Silver Superman template. The threat of Blue Star finally dissipated, Batman and the others gradually relaxed. A sense of responsibility and a sense of honor drove them to resist every disaster of Blue Star. The crowd gathered, walked up the tower, and greeted the arrival of dawn. Facing the rising sun, Clark stepped forward and stood in front of everyone. He said with some guilt, I'm sorry, everyone. I've seen everything I've done and it's hard to believe I did it. With that said, Clark lowered his head, his heart was full of shame. Although he is controlled, all the things he has done, the memories are still in his mind. He felt very ashamed. Everyone looked at each other, they all understood that no one blamed Clark. Clark is controlled, everything he does is not his will. Diana took a step forward and comforted her, it's not your fault, Clark. We all know that you are being controlled. It's not your fault. Clark looked up at Diana, her eyes full of sincerity. This made Clark feel a little less guilty. Bruce also stepped forward, he stretched out his hand, but stopped in midair. Hesitation for a while, or lightly patted Clark's shoulder. Just come back. Clark. Bruce. He remembers that when he fired a heat ray, it almost killed Bruce. Barry at the moment also took 2 steps forward, and also looked at Clark with sincere eyes, as long as you change back. You are still my idol. Aquaman and Victor didn't know Clark well, just nodded at Clark. You. Sensing that the few people did not blame him, Clark felt mixed feelings. In the end, Clark looked at the man who had fought back and forth with him. I have never seen it, my countrymen. Seeing Clark looking over, Lin Feng stepped forward with a smile and stretched out his hand. Let's get to know each other. My name is Lin Feng. Clark reached out and shook his hand, a little uncertain. Are you, a Kryptonian too? Lin Feng nodded, then shook his head again. He knew Clark's loneliness, he was the only one left in the race, and this kind of loneliness was not something ordinary people could bear. Seeing that Clark was puzzled, Lin Feng explained, I do have Kryptonian blood. But I'm not a Kryptonian of this universe. I come from another universe. Hearing Lin Feng's answer, Clark was a little dazed. Can you tell me in detail? Clark asked. Definitely yes, Clark. But I think we all need a break first. Also, you should go back and meet Martha first, and Louise. As soon as Lin Feng finished speaking, Clark immediately thought of his mother and girlfriend. Yes, I'm going to meet them. He has been resurrected, this is his second chance, he is going back to meet his mother. He has to complete his marriage proposal, and Louise hasn't told him the answer yet. Looking at Batman and the others again, Clark's meaning is obvious. Batman stepped forward and patted him on the shoulder again. Go, Clark. Meet them first. Then take a good rest. Have a good rest, come to the base to find us. Clark nodded, then soared into the sky and disappeared from everyone's sight. Clark left. Bruce looked at Lin Feng. Lin, do you want to come to my villa for a few days? You don't want to go back now, let us entertain you for some time. Lin Feng played a leading role in this invasion battle. Without him restraining Clark, everyone's winning rate was infinitely close to zero. Diana also said, yes, Lin Feng, how about I take you around the metropolis? I know a lot of food. I can take you to taste it. Barry also came up and said. Seeing several people warmly inviting him, Lin Feng also nodded. He smiled and said, okay. I'll just stay here for a few days. Besides, I have to tell Clark something about Krypton. He decided to answer some questions for Clark about the Kryptonians. In countless universes, there are many Kryptonians, and he wants Clark to know about these existences. Make Clark no longer feel like the only survivor of his race. These days, I will trouble you. Lin Feng begged. Hearing this, everyone smiled and nodded. No trouble at all, Lin. Diana said with a smile. Go back first and rest, I think everyone is tired. Bruce arranged. He hammered his waist, he had just been hit by a demon-like weapon, and he was in some pain. I want Afu to prepare something cold for me. The fighter plane has crashed. Fortunately, Bruce contacted another helicopter. It was already noon when everyone returned to Bruce's base. After lunch, Bruce arranged several rooms for everyone to rest. After 2 days of fighting, even his physique is several times stronger than that of ordinary people. Also feel tired. Several people did not refuse, and thanked one after another. But Lin Feng didn't rest in Bruce's manner. He asked Bruce for some money and flew away alone. Lin Feng left and chose a beach. He was wearing sunglasses, lying on a beach chair, basking in the sun listening to the sound of the waves. Just bask in the sun to replenish your strength and energy. Very convenient. The sea breeze is blowing, and the chirping of seagulls and the whispering of beach tourists are heard from time to time. Lin Feng enjoyed the atmosphere very much. If only Susan was with me at this time. When you go back, take Susan to the seaside for a trip. Thinking of Susan, Lin Feng suddenly remembered the Superman wristband on his wrist. When he was going to go back, he gave Susan another Superman bracer. Add a piece of platinum kryptonite. In this way, Susan's safety issues do not need to worry about. Moreover, the wristbands can also be adjusted into couple styles. Lin Feng loves this wristband. Basking in the sun bored, Lin Feng turned over the system store. He wants to see if the store sells special kryptonite. Used it once and it works really well. If you have, consider buying a few more for a rainy day. Open the store. Black Widow's original underwear. Today's special, 5 reputation points. The corner of Lin Feng's mouth twitched, he remembered that this used to sell for 10 prestige points. Just ignore it and look for what you need. After rummaging around, he really found it. Special red kryptonite 1 piece for 1 million reputation. Special platinum kryptonite 2 million prestige piece. The price is moderate, not too expensive. Platinum kryptonite can give an ordinary person the ability of Superman for 2 hours. It's not that expensive to be honest. Continue to scroll down, there are several types of kryptonite alone. Lin Feng saw the cheapest piece of kryptonite among them. Special gold kryptonite 200,000 reputation value 1 piece. Effect. Causes the wearer to lose all Superman abilities for 12 hours. Lin Feng. Why is there such kryptonite? System. Why didn't I find the Superman bracer? Lin Feng searched for a long time, but couldn't find Superman's wristband, so he asked. Why are you looking for him? Didn't the big gift bag give you 2? I want to know whether it will be more powerful if I bring a few more kryptonites. No, host. Then if I wear 2 wristbands. Platinum kryptonite in the left hand and gold kryptonite in the right hand, what will happen? Lin Feng's brain hole opened. Gold kryptonite will remove all abilities from Superman. Platinum kryptonite can give ordinary people the ability of Superman. So what happens if you wear them at the same time? Once this sense of curiosity arises, I can't help but want to try it out. The black question mark on the system's face. Why don't you try? Hearing this, Lin Feng looked at the gold kryptonite in the store with some hesitation. Fingers up and down, whether to buy or not. In the end, I gave up buying it. Forget it. Lin Feng sighed, what if it blows up, isn't it a waste? This curiosity wastes millions of reputation points, it feels very worthless. By the way, system, is there any Superman wristbands for sale? Why can't I find them? The system popped up. Superman wristbands are in the level 2 store, and the price is 2 million prestige points. Why is a wristband so expensive? Lin Feng frowned and asked in puzzlement. In addition to the effect of installing gems on the Superman wrist, the rest is to improve the efficiency of receiving solar radiation. Lin Feng thinks only this function. Not worth 2 million reputation points. The system quickly answered Lin Feng's doubts. The price is not expensive, the system said. Superman's wrist brace is several times stronger than vibranium. And the wristband has a certain deformation ability, it can cover your entire forearm when it is fully unfolded. This will increase your efficiency of receiving solar radiation several times. Hearing this, Lin Feng's eyes lit up. Is there still this function? Lin Feng looked at the wristband in his hand, and thought about it. In an instant, the wristband quickly moved up Lin Feng's wrist like flowing water. It quickly wrapped Lin Feng's entire forearm. Like wearing a layer of black sleeves. Lin Feng was refreshed, sure enough. The efficiency of receiving radiation has been improved, and it is several times faster than the previous form of the wristband. Good stuff. Lin Feng nodded in satisfaction, but this seems to be more than 2 million prestige points, right? It seems to have sensed Lin Feng's doubts. The system came out again and explained, Host, your Superman wristband can not only hold kryptonite. It can also inlay all 6 infinite rough stones. Lin Feng was a little surprised, but only for a moment. Isn't Iron Man also able to make gloves inlaid with rough stones? Well, you can choose not to buy it. The system seemed to be speechless. After dropping a word, he stopped making a sound. Lin Feng rolled his eyes, unscrupulous profiteer. He continued to look at the store, and many products he had never seen before were on sale. Useful and useless, the value varies from a few reputation points to millions of reputation points. Even saw the K-50 Nano battle suit made by Tony Stark. But in the secondary store, the icon is gray and cannot be bought. Lin Feng clicked his tongue, planning to buy a set to play with when the level 2 store permission is opened. Few boys can resist the allure of a steel battle suit. Lin Feng is no exception. All of a sudden, Lin Feng was looking through the store, looking for any other weird products. The tourists on the beach suddenly became agitated, interrupting Lin Feng's shopping. It's Superman. Really Superman. Superman is here. The tourists all looked towards the sky and shouted. With a thought in Lin Feng's mind, he also heard the unusual tearing air sounds. Looking up, Clark had already flown above his head. He didn't wear a Superman battle suit, but a house dress. Lin Feng looked at him with some doubts. What is Clark doing here? Clark landed, smiled at the tourists who surrounded him, and then turned to look at Lin Feng. Sorry to find you this way. But I asked Bruce, and he said you don't have any contact information. Lin Feng scratched his head. Well, he did not bring any communication devices such as mobile phones. It is not easy for these people to find themselves, let alone contact them. Okay. Clark, Lin Feng shrugged and asked, what can I do for you? Clark nodded. You said you wanted to tell me something about Kryptonians. In such a hurry. Lin Feng didn't expect Clark to find him again after only half a day. Clark nodded again, apologetically, I don't know when you will leave, Lin. After seeing his mother and girlfriend after returning home, Clark found Lin Feng again after not being with them for a long time. Accompany the family and wait for Lin Feng to leave at any time. Lin Feng didn't say when he would leave. Clark was afraid of missing this opportunity, so he rushed to find him. This made sense, but Lin Feng couldn't refute it. Well, anyway, I'm fine now. Lin Feng stood up. Talking here. The tourists on the beach almost surrounded the two of them with 3 floors inside and 3 floors outside. It's just that the awe and fear of Clark made them afraid to go forward. Definitely not. Follow me. After speaking, Clark floated into the sky and flew in one direction. Seeing this, Lin Feng shook his head, and slowly rose into the air to follow. The onlookers left behind were a little stunned. Got to Superman. Lin Feng did not expect that Clark would take him to the farm. The farm where his mother was taken away by the bank because she couldn't repay the loan. Clark landed, opened the door, and invited Lin Feng in. Lin Feng stepped in, and most of the furniture in the house was gone. Fortunately, there is a table and some chairs. Clark said with some embarrassment, "Bruce helped me go through the formalities. Soon I can come back and stay here. Sit down first, I'll pour you a cup of coffee." Clark pointed to the chair to signal Lin Feng. Lin Feng didn't dislike it either, and sat down on his buttocks, looking at the place where Clark lived since he was a child. "Auntie?" Lin Feng asked. She was with Louise. "When the formalities are completed, we still need to move all the furniture back." Lin Feng nodded. The environment where Clark lives is very good. A two-story cottage located on a farm. Lin Feng once wanted to live such a life. However, the self before time travel simply couldn't afford such a place. However, with the help of friends who are rich in dogs, Lin Feng now has a bigger residence. But there is no more natural and comfortable environment like Clark. Coffee. Clark came over with 2 cups of coffee and sat opposite Lin Feng. Lin Feng picked it up and took a sip. It was very hot. But for Superman, that's nothing. Putting down the glass, Lin Feng nodded to Clark. "If you want to ask anything, just ask. I'll tell you everything I know." Clark held the coffee on the table, and said with some hesitation, "I want to know, am I really the only one in this world with Kryptonian blood?" In order to save Blue Star, Clark twisted Zod's neck. For Blue Star, this is a just approach. For the Kryptonians, however, Clark was responsible for killing the last of their fellow Kryptonians. Definitely, excluding Clark himself. This made Clark confused for a long time, and at the same time, a sense of loneliness lasted for a long time. Fortunately he was accompanied by Martha and Louise. Otherwise, Clark doesn't know if he will get out of the confusion, maybe, but he doesn't know how long it will take. Lin Feng had already anticipated Clark's question. There was no surprise at all about Clark's question. "As far as I know, you should be the only Kryptonian left in this universe." Hearing Lin Feng's answer, a hint of disappointment flashed in Clark's eyes. Is that really the case? Clark slowly turned the coffee cup, a little absent-minded. This is also expected. After Zod came to Earth, Clark knew that Krypton was dead. His biological parents also died at that time. Until Zod was also killed by himself. Clark knew he was the last Kryptonian. Only the appearance of Lin Feng gave him a glimmer of hope. Same Superman uniform, same Superman ability. He once thought that there were still a group of Kryptonians living in places he didn't know. However, it turns out that Lin Feng is not the Kryptonian of this universe. Seeing Clark's disappointment, Lin Feng shook his head and laughed a little. He knew Clark's loneliness, the loneliness of the last man of his race. Imagine if you were the only human being left in the universe. How lonely and hopeless that would be. "Clark, do you know about parallel universes?" Lin Feng said, somewhat reminding Clark. Parallel universe. Hearing Lin Feng's question, Clark froze for a moment, then nodded. "I knew it before, but I thought it was just speculation. I didn't believe in the existence of parallel universes until I saw you." Seeing Lin Feng just smiled without saying a word, a thought flashed in Clark's mind. There are still Kryptonians in the parallel universe. Lin Feng smiled and nodded. That's right, there are countless Kryptonians in countless parallel universes. Clark, you are not alone. As far as I know, in one of the parallel universes, there is another you. And you in that parallel universe have a cousin. Cousin. Clark stared at Lin Feng closely. Following Lin Feng's words, Clark's eyes gradually lit up. It was the joy of knowing that he still had compatriots. Although not in the same universe. That's right, her name is Kayla Zuo Al, Lin Feng nodded and continued. In that universe, Krypton is also on the verge of survival. And Kayla Zuo Al was sent to Earth to protect you in that world. But her spaceship was affected by the explosion and fell into the phantom space. It wasn't until 24 years later that she accidentally crash-landed on Earth. She is just like you in that world. Guard the Earth, protect the citizens. Lin Feng frowned suddenly when he said this, and stopped. What's wrong? Lin Feng. Clark was getting excited when he heard Lin Feng suddenly stop, and he asked suspiciously. Lin Feng didn't answer. It suddenly occurred to him that the characters in the parallel world were very similar. Although there is no such information in the movie. But since there is Kayla Zuo Al in the parallel world, so will there be her in this world. Lin Feng thought for a moment. He had some hesitation whether he should tell Clark this speculation. If you say it, it will undoubtedly give Clark hope again. But if this universe doesn't have Kayla Zuo Al, Clark was afraid that it was inevitable that he would be disappointed again. Lin Feng, if you have anything to say, just say it. Clark saw some hesitation in Lin Feng, so he spoke directly. He guessed that Lin Feng might have thought of information related to himself. Lin Feng looked at Clark, his eyes were complex, pleading, hopeful, and dignified. Sighing, Lin Feng still expressed his conjecture. Sure enough, this speculation impressed Clark. His brain started to run at high speed, and he began to think if he also had a cousin in this world. How should he find her? But there was too little useful information, and Clark thought for a long time, but it was of no avail. He couldn't help asking Lin Feng again. Lin Feng, is there any way you can help me verify the existence of my cousin? Lin Feng shook his head. He had no way to confirm the existence of Kayla. In the end, Lin Feng just gave a suggestion. You can go to the universe to bask in the sun more, Clark. Often things will become easier with greater strength. Now you can't be sure of her existence, so make yourself stronger. Oh, by the way, pay more attention to Barry. It's not easy for that kid to run. Lin Feng winked at Clark, and said meaningfully, maybe one day, he will run to another universe. After finishing the coffee in the cup, Lin Feng got up to say goodbye. He only knew this little information, and passed it all on to Clark. I hope Kayla really exists in this universe. So Clark had a compatriot anyway. Clark stood up to see him off. Lin Feng waved his hand, and directly soared into the sky. In the next 2 days, Diana took Lin Feng for a walk around the metropolis. Barry took Lin Feng to eat a lot of food. Aquaman Arthur is going to take Lin Feng to the bottom of the sea to catch fish. Even Bruce was asking if he needed anything. Only Victor was normal, and he gave Lin Feng a pair of earphones he made himself. Superman's S-shaped logo is affixed on both sides of the headset. He thinks working as a Superman is tiring, and this high-quality headphone that he crafted carefully will bring Lin Feng time to relax. In fact, Lin Feng really wants to complain. The world he lives in also has these things. It's not that I haven't seen the world. But kindness is hard to come by, and Lin Feng is not willing to let everyone down. After playing like crazy for 2 days, under the watchful eyes of all superheroes, Lin Feng stepped onto the portal and bid farewell to the DC Universe. Marvel Universe. Twister's night sky. A portal with a little light flashing suddenly appeared. After the light disappeared, Lin Feng slowly appeared in midair. This season, it gets dark earlier. Lin Feng took out his mobile phone. When he went to DC to do tasks, he stored his phone in the system space. I forgot to see if Marvel's mobile phone can be used in DC. I checked the time, it was just 7 o'clock in the evening. Lin Feng noticed the date. It had been more than a week since he left. And Lin Feng stayed in DC for 4 or 5 days. It seems that the flow of time in the two worlds is different. Lin Feng roughly calculated that the time flow rate is about 2:1. But it's okay, it didn't exceed the 10 days that Susan said. Putting away the phone, Lin Feng checked the location. The system didn't teleport him back to where he left off. Instead, a portal was immediately opened above the waist twister. Lin Feng didn't care either. He turned on the invisibility function of the ring, and slowly flew towards his villa. The lights in Lin Feng's villa were on, obviously Susan was at home. Since the two were together, Lin Feng asked Susan to return the rented house. Ask Susan to move in with him. The euphemism is don't waste your money. As for what's going on in the dark, I know everything. Lin Feng flew down and opened the door. The living room was lit, but empty. Instead, there was a noise from the kitchen. Lin Feng chuckled and touched it quietly. However, when he walked halfway, his footsteps stopped again, and the smile stopped on his face. An unfamiliar black-haired woman was cooking with her back turned to him. Obviously not Susan, both are of different heights. Lin Feng was a little puzzled. What's the situation? Thief. Unlike, how can a thief go to someone else to cook? Just as Lin Feng was about to ask, the woman spoke first. Susan. It's time to eat. The woman put the cooked food on a plate and shouted upstairs. She turned around with the plate in her hand, also stunned. She also saw Lin Feng. The two stood in place, their eyes facing each other. Sky. Lin Feng was also taken aback when he saw her face, and subconsciously called out. You know me. Sky exclaimed, his eyes flickering. That's right, the brunette is none other than Marvel's vibe girl, Sky. Sky from at the moment probably hasn't joined S.H.I.E.L.D. yet. Lin Feng remembered that Sky should have joined S.H.I.E.L.D. after the first timeline of the Avengers Alliance. The current Sky should still be a thorn in the side of S.H.I.E.L.D. He is also a thorn with superb hacking skills. But it doesn't matter. Why did Sky appear in his home? Lin Feng narrowed his eyes and asked directly, why are you at my house? Sky slowly put the plate in his hand on the table. The brain is running at high speed, weaving lies. At the same time, I couldn't stop being a little curious. She has almost no intersection with Lin Feng. Why does Lin Feng know her name? Lin Feng watched her movements calmly, waiting for an explanation. Luckily Lin Feng knew she hadn't joined S.H.I.E.L.D. yet. Otherwise, one would wonder if the black marinated egg has started acting like a demon again. Before Sky could speak, footsteps came downstairs. Susan came down from upstairs. Forest. Seeing Lin Feng coming back by accident, Susan yelled and threw herself into Lin Feng's arms. You're back. Lin Feng was thrown into his arms, but he was not happy. He keenly noticed that Susan's tone was full of grievances. There was a thump in his heart, and Lin Feng frowned immediately. What's the matter, bullied? Lin Feng gently pushed Susan away from his arms. Sure enough, Susan's eyes were flushed, and she looked aggrieved. Obviously cried. In an instant, Lin Feng's face turned cold. Susan, what's wrong? Who bullied you? Susan's eyes were red from crying like a big rabbit. She pouted and looked at Lin Feng like a wounded animal. I was fired from the company. One sentence is exported, full of grievances. Lin Feng was a little speechless. Unexpectedly, he was fired. What's the point of crying? With the Superman news in hand, wouldn't it be easy to find another station? Wrong. Lin Feng suddenly sensed that something was wrong. Susan has a huge source of news about Superman. Almost every radio headline is shot by Susan. In everyone's eyes, Susan has become the exclusive reporter of Superman. It can be said that any radio station with Susan is equivalent to having the first-hand news of Superman. What did the radio station think, that it would fire Susan? I'm afraid there is something hidden in it. And the greatest possibility is that someone is targeting Susan and making troubles. Otherwise, even if Susan was fired, she should be angry, not wronged. Thinking that Susan might be bullied, Lin Feng suddenly felt an evil fire in his heart. He lowered his head and gently wiped away Susan's tears. Hey, what's the matter? There was a hint of anger in Lin Feng's gentle words. Supporting Susan to sit at the dining table, Lin Feng spoke again. Tell me, why did the station fire you? Susan was embraced by Lin Feng, and her soft words stirred her emotions. All the grievances I have suffered during this time can't help but strike again. The emotions that had been adjusted suddenly collapsed at this moment. At this time, I don't know where I lost my strength. Susan choked up and said, They said that They said I was. Wow. Before finishing a sentence, Susan hugged Lin Feng again. Buried his head into Lin Feng's chest. Crying uncontrollably. When had Lin Feng seen such a scene? In an instant, his hands and feet panicked. Hands raised in the air at a loss. This cry wiped out Lin Feng's evil fire. Good guy. How wrong this girl was. Lin Feng felt that the clothes on his chest were wet from crying. He turned his head and looked around for tissues. But she was hugged tightly by Susan and couldn't move away. Here you are. A female voice sounded, and at the same time handed over a tissue box. It was Sky, who was temporarily ignored by Lin Feng after seeing Susan being wronged. Lin Feng's thoughts were all on the wronged Susan. Forget about Sky, who appeared at home out of nowhere. Lin Feng glanced at Sky, took the tissue and thanked him. Then he took out two and wiped them for Susan. The snot bubbles are coming out. It stuck to the clothes on Lin Feng's chest. Lin Feng was a little dumbfounded. Susan also found out about her own ugliness, and her aggrieved face suddenly turned red again. I'm sorry. He had no choice but to stand up and sit upright, letting Lin Feng wipe away his tears. I couldn't help but hiccup all the time. Seeing this, Sky sighed. She sat across from the two of them and said, let me tell you what's going on. Lin Feng kept moving his hands, but he just glanced at Sky and nodded at her. Susan was fired from the station because of a rumor. The luxury car from Stark Industries came to pick Susan up from get off work that day. When someone took a picture, the rumors spread. Said Susan had beauty with Tony Stark. Sky explained the cause and effect in short words. Hearing this, Lin Feng's hands froze. I was the one who went to pick up Susan. I'm also a shareholder of Stark Industries. How could they think so? After finishing speaking, Lin Feng said to Susan gently, honey, didn't you explain to them? I said. Susan explained while hiccuping. But they say you are the driver. They don't believe my explanation. They also said that I had an improper relationship with Superman. Say I always get a shot, Superman photo. Because of me, I climbed into Superman's bed. Wow. After speaking, Susan cried again, crying even harder. She was so wronged. Obviously, I worked so hard and made such a big contribution to the headlines of the radio station. But every colleague did not believe her. She doesn't understand what she did wrong. After listening to Susan's intermittent explanation, Lin Feng only felt that the evil fire that had just disappeared surged into his heart again. How did this rumor come out? Sky pulls out a laptop out of nowhere. Rumors alone weren't enough to get Susan fired from the station. She turned on the computer, called up something, and showed it to Lin Feng. Look at this. Lin Feng looked at the screen with a cold face. What he saw next made Lin Feng's pupils shrink. Rumors about Susan actually appeared on various forums and gossip news. Susan Carter on BBC, suspected to have a good night with Tony Stark. Where did Susan Carter's Superman news come from? Quote. Physical reporter, Susan Carter. About Susan Carter, Superman comments. On two boats. Iron Man, Superman on the fight against women. Quote. Lin Feng looked at these titles with eyes full of anger. One is more outrageous than the other. The most commented one actually had close to 10 million likes. This comment with the most likes has almost no text. All are pictures related to Susan. Susan boards a luxury car with a Stark Industries license plate. Susan and Superman walking along the street. There are even pictures of Susan kissing Superman. Lin Feng could tell at a glance that the kissing photo was from synthesis. But this does not prevent the speculation and suspicion of the people who eat melons. The internet is like this, the incident is brewing, accompanied by the iron proof of the photos. Coupled with the endorsement of the BBC radio station, almost no one has verified whether the photo belongs to synthesis. Sky clicked the mouse and opened the Superman forum. Countless posts are constantly refreshing, leaving messages, and publishing. Many people are waiting for Superman to speak out. There are also many people who are trying to defend Superman. Lin Feng's complexion has never been ugly. Susan shrank her shoulders, and she seemed to feel that the air around her became colder. Someone is behind these rumors. Lin Feng spoke, his voice a little hoarse. Sky nodded, you're right. She clicked the mouse again, and two photos appeared on the screen. According to my investigation, it was the ghosts of these two people. Who are they? Lin Feng asked coldly. The inexplicable evil fire seemed to be burning more and more intensely, making Lin Feng's eyes seem to spew out flames. Susan has never seen Lin Feng make such a big fire. She pulled Lin Feng's sleeve in fear. Lin Feng didn't feel Susan's small movements. He stared fixedly at the screen, looking at the two photos with cold eyes, like watching dead men. Sky swiped the mouse, and the information of the two is displayed separately. This fat man with big ears is called John. He is the nephew of the BBC radio boss. Sky zoomed in on John's photo, a look of disgust flashing in his eye. He is the mastermind of this matter. According to my investigation, he has repeatedly pursued Susan and was rejected. Until Susan and you confirmed the relationship, John made things difficult for Susan in the office. In the end, I couldn't step down from the stage. I think that's his motivation. Sky analyzed. If you can't get it, you can destroy it. This kind of extreme psychological distortion Sky has seen a lot on the internet. After speaking, Sky opened another photo. This old woman is called Flora. She is one of John's concubines, and she provided John with a lot of information. Strictly speaking, it is also one of the masterminds of this rumor. She asked Susan to give her the Superman news, but Susan refused. According to my research, older women are very jealous. Susan is beautiful, kind, and with Superman's information, she has a very high popularity and status in the radio station. Plus Susan refused her request. She hated Susan. As Sky said, he opened another picture, which was the comment with 10 million likes. According to my investigation, this comment is the person Flora paid for. They hired a lot of sailors at the same time. A lot of misplaced and malicious photos are also taken by them. The general situation is almost like this. Sky stopped talking, just picked up the water glass and took a sip of water. Waiting for Lin Feng to digest the information. Lin Feng looked at the information coldly. After a while, he turned his gaze to Sky again, gritted his teeth and asked, "Sky, you have such superb hacking skills, why don't you clear this information?" His voice had an uncontrollable anger, and his eyes were cold and piercing. Sky was taken aback. She didn't expect Lin Feng to ask such a question. The moment he looked up to meet Lin Feng's gaze, Sky felt like he had fallen into an ice cave. What kind of indifferent, angry, but sharp eyes were there? Shivering uncontrollably, Sky opened his mouth. A word stuck in her neck. She had a feeling. If her answer is not good, she will die in the next second. She didn't know why she felt this way, but cold sweat was already breaking down her forehead. "Lin, what are you talking about? Do you know Kay?" Susan sat aside, looking at Lin Feng in disbelief. He actually blamed innocent people. She knows Lin Feng's personality. Susan felt that Lin Feng was a little too angry today. Big abnormal. Her name is Kay, not Sky, Lin. Susan explained, pulling Lin Feng's arm. Kay has worked so hard to help me. She's my best friend. What's the matter with you tonight, Lin? I feel something is wrong with you. Susan looked at Lin Feng with big red eyes, full of worry. Hearing Susan's words, Lin Feng once again realized that something was wrong with him. That inexplicable evil fire seemed to be eating away at his sanity. What's even more strange is that it's actually difficult for him to contain this evil fire. He closed his eyes and took a deep breath, then squeezed out a smile that was uglier than crying. "Sorry, Sky. I didn't mean to, I was just too worried about Susan." As soon as these words came out, the pressure on Sky was suddenly released. The feeling of being stared at by death all the time slowly dissipated. Sky let out a long breath and wiped the cold sweat from his forehead. With a wry smile on the corner of his mouth, he explained. "It's not that I didn't help. But by the time I found out, things had gotten tricky. At that time, the rumors were already brewing in a big way. They were organized to publish a large number of manuscripts at the same time. There are a lot of rumors on the internet, forums, personal programs, news, regardless of the front and back. Even if it is contained, it will not help." Sky sighed. Her hacking skills were second to none. But Sky's actions only aroused more suspicion about something that was already fully brewing. On the contrary, it will have the opposite effect. Sky continued, "If you want to put an end to this rumor, we must have stronger evidence. At least clarification from Tony Stark and Superman. However, this is undoubtedly difficult for us." Having said that, Sky shook his head and said, "Let's not say whether Tony Stark will clarify this matter. We can't even reach Superman." Having said that, Sky sighed again. Now she only has hacking skills. Helping Susan find out the culprit is already at his current limit. After Sky finished speaking, Susan secretly glanced at Lin Feng. Although Kay is her best friend, she doesn't tell Kay that Lin Feng is Superman. She felt that this was Lin Feng's privacy, and Susan would not say anything he didn't want to say. Respect is mutual. Seeing that the two of them did not speak, Sky tapped on the computer with both hands. He knocked and said, "You don't have to worry too much, Susan is my best friend anyway. I have another clarification plan, but in a somewhat complicated way. The effect will be worse, but this is something that can't be helped." Sky also knows that Stark and Superman are not easy to please. So she came up with another solution, though not as good as the first. Lin Feng irritably knocked his fingers on the table, interrupting Sky. "There is no need for a second solution, use a better one. Stark, I'll contact him to clarify. As for Superman, he'll be there too. Whether it is to shoot a video, or hold a press conference specifically for this matter. None of them will refuse." Hearing Lin Feng's words, Sky was startled. She looked at Susan, then at Lin Feng. "Good guy, is her best friend's boyfriend so good? You're not bragging, are you?" Regardless of what Sky thinks, Lin Feng already has some plans in mind. "Susan, stay at home, I'll go out for a while." After finishing speaking, Lin Feng walked out. "Lin, where are you going?" Susan called from behind. Lin Feng turned his head, his face was a bit hideous. "I'm going to break the necks of those two fools." Regardless of what Sky thinks, Lin Feng already has some plans in mind. "Susan, stay at home, I'll go out for a while." After finishing speaking, Lin Feng walked out. "Lin, where are you going?" Susan called from behind. Lin Feng turned his head, his expression a little ferocious. "I'll break the necks of those two foolers first." As soon as these words came out, Susan's soul was almost scared away. She took 3 steps and 2 steps at a time, rushed forward and hugged Lin Feng's waist before pulling back. "No, Lin, calm down, you're going to jail." She felt that Lin Feng was really crazy. Lin Feng went out for a trip, and when he came back, it was like a completely different person. Lin Feng chuckled, he really wanted to break the necks of the two perpetrators. But he hasn't lost his mind yet and knows this isn't the best way to solve the problem. He pulled Susan away dumbfounded. "I'm just kidding, little fool. I'm going to meet Tony Stark and discuss this matter with him." Susan stared into his eyes. "You promise you won't lie to me?" Okay, I promise." Lin Feng looked at Susan helplessly. Seeing Lin Feng's eyes, which didn't look like he was hiding, nor did he seem to be lying, Susan finally felt at ease. She was really scared by Lin Feng just now. Who is Lin Feng? Superman. He was going to break someone's neck, fearing that no one would be able to stop him. However, breaking the necks of those two people is likely to create a negative image of Lin Feng in the minds of the citizens. This is what Susan does not want to see. Lin Feng also knew this. Although it was simple to break the necks of the two, the subsequent impact was somewhat uncontrollable. If one is not done well, Susan will be caught in a bigger public opinion. "If it's too late, I'll sleep with Tony," Lin Feng said. "Don't worry about me." Susan nodded. "Remember what you promised me. Don't be impulsive." Lin Feng smiled and nodded in agreement. After bidding farewell to Susan, Lin Feng ran to a remote corner. The black battlesuit appeared, and Lin Feng soared into the air, flying straight upwards. Several sonic booms were left in the air. Soon, Lin Feng flew out of the atmosphere and entered outer space. The sun was shining on him, and the evil fire in his heart was constantly dissipating. System. Lin Feng closed his eyes and called out. "Is there something wrong with my body?" Lin Feng already had some guesses in his mind, but he wasn't too sure. The system did not speak, but a video popped up and played. In the screen, it is the scene of Lin Feng in the 600th world. He and Diana stood in front of the portal. At the other end of the portal are Darkseid and his men. The camera zoomed in, and Lin Feng watched carefully. The mother box was separated, and the portal was slowly closing. However, the few people on the screen didn't notice it. A black line that was almost invisible to the naked eye crawled along the portal. After that, he quietly attached to Lin Feng. When the video plays here, it ends. Lin Feng's face was gloomy, but he knew it in his heart. As he had guessed, someone had tampered with him. "Is that Exile?" Lin Feng muttered to himself. The system also jumped out at this time. "That's right, it's the Exile. I warned you to be careful of the Exile, is that how you are?" The system asked angrily. This made Lin Feng a little embarrassed. He had just finished a battle. How did you let me notice such a small black line? Why didn't you remind me? You found out at the time, didn't you? Lin Feng fought back, shifting the responsibility to the system. Since the system has this video, it means that it must have found this black line at that time. However, he didn't remind himself aloud, which is not very interesting. Hee hee. The system sneered. I don't remind you, it's to give you a long memory. If you get hit once, you will be more careful next time. As I said, every exile should not be underestimated, the system continued. They don't appear often, but every time they appear, some people will be recruited. It's all because of your carelessness. After a few words from the system, Lin Feng was immediately embarrassed. Okay, I was really negligent. Lin Feng scratched his head and admitted his mistake. He felt that the big problem was indeed with him. Although he already has Superman's ability, but Lin Feng's combat experience and attitude towards the enemy still need to grow and exercise. There is nothing wrong with the systematic approach. Only when you have suffered a loss will you have a long memory. What is his black line? Lin Feng asked. Why do I feel that there is always an evil fire that cannot be eliminated? Hearing Lin Feng admitting his mistake, the system no longer pressed hard. As long as the goal of long memory is achieved, it is also for Lin Feng to grow up as soon as possible. That's a kind of dark magic. The system explained. He can infinitely magnify the 7 original sins in the hearts of creatures. That is gluttony, greed, pride, laziness, lust, jealousy, anger. Will Superman be affected too? Lin Feng couldn't help asking. As long as you have these desires, you will be affected. When the host is angry, the dark magic will amplify it infinitely. Until you are completely controlled by anger and controlled by him. This is very similar to the magic that controls Clark. After some explanation, Lin Feng understood completely. After I came back, I learned about Susan's incident. There was anger in my heart. So the dark magic was activated, making his anger magnified infinitely. Fortunately, Lin Feng did not completely lose control. Thinking of this, Lin Feng also felt a little scared. If he really lost control, the consequences would be unimaginable. I'm afraid that countless people's necks will be broken by themselves. Is there a solution? Lin Feng asked the system. Since the system doesn't remind itself, there should be a solution. Otherwise, I won't let myself be fooled into the trick. There is a solution, the system replied. Really? The system doesn't really expose itself to danger. 500,000 reputation worth a bottle of blessing potion in the store. One bottle can neutralize dark magic. Lin Feng made a tactical fallback. What is so expensive? A small bottle of potion costs 500,000 prestige points. Lin Feng couldn't help complaining, you don't want to take advantage of the fire. Dog's system. Is there any other way? Although Lin Feng now has tens of millions of reputation points, he doesn't want to be a leak. The system rolled its eyes. Too expensive. If you think it's too expensive, go to Ancient One. She can also dispel the dark magic on you. It depends on whether she is willing to help you. The system's answer made Lin Feng curl his lips. He felt that Ancient One would not reject him, and he gave him a bag of tea last time. Opened the system and bought a pack of life tree leaf tea tablets again. A pack of leaves only sells for 50,000 reputation points. Lin Feng said that it is normal to come to find someone to do errands and to bring something. A problem that can be solved with 50,000 reputation points. Will I spend 500,000? Temporarily storing it in the system warehouse, Lin Feng flew towards the Himalayan mountains on Blue Star. He remembered the stronghold of the Ancient One, where Kamar Taj was. When approaching the Himalayas, Lin Feng found it not far in front of him. Suddenly a light appeared, followed by a golden circle of light. It's a portal. Lin Feng stopped in midair, clicking his tongue. This portal is probably opened by Ancient One. Lin Feng didn't think much, and flew towards the portal. When approaching the portal, Lin Feng saw the Ancient One magician behind the gate. She was sitting at the tea table, looking at herself with a smile. Apparently, Ancient One knew he was coming for her. Lin Feng flew through the door speechlessly and landed on the ground. I know why you're here, Lin Feng. With a smile on his face, Ancient One invited Lin Feng to a seat and made him a cup of tea. Lin Feng's eyes flickered, but he kept complaining in his heart. It's this kind of big guy's opening remarks again. With Time Gem, Ancient One can see past and future. To be honest, Lin Feng is a little envious. Pushing the tea to Lin Feng picked up the teacup and drank it down. The tea is hot, but that's fine with Superman. Even if it is boiling water, it will not cause any harm to Lin Feng. After drinking the tea, Lin Feng took out the tea chips he had just bought from the system warehouse curry. Magician, I brought a gift. Lin Feng chuckled and pushed the tea leaves towards Ancient One. Ancient One took a look and shook his head with a bit of a smile. She definitely knew what Lin Feng meant. Even if there is no gift, I will help you. I've known since you left this world. Ancient One hesitated for a while, but still accepted the tea leaves. Lin Feng's tea did not know where it came from, and Ancient One tried to find out where the tea came from. Only to find that the screen showed only pitch black. You don't have to worry, the dark magic you have is not complicated. Ancient One said that she knew that Lin Feng was a Superman with a quick temper. I don't expect young people to calm down. Look, Ancient One said as he stretched out his hands. Both hands intertwined to draw symbols that Lin Feng couldn't understand. Following the actions of Ancient One, a golden magic circle appeared out of thin air. Constantly rotating and constantly changing. The magic circle slowly approached Lin Feng. Lin Feng felt as if something was peeling off inside his body. Not long time, Ancient One's casting right hand quickly pulled back. An extremely thin black thread was pulled out from Lin Feng's body. The black thread exudes black mist, floats in midair, and is trapped by the magic circle. After taking a closer look, Ancient One opened a portal and threw the black thread into it. As the black thread left his body, Lin Feng immediately felt a lot more relaxed. The ever-present evil fire disappeared without a trace. I dropped him into the dark dimension, said Ancient One. It won't affect you anymore, don't worry. Naturally, Ancient One had her intentions in doing this, it was all dark magic, presumably Dormammu would not mind Ancient One littering. Seeing that Ancient One solved it very easily, Lin Feng also heaved a sigh of relief. It seems that the dark magic of the exile is not very good here in Ancient One. This time, thank you Magician. Lin Feng cupped his hands in thanks. Ancient One shook her head, with a meaningful expression on her face. Helping you is helping Blue Star. You will play a big role in the future, Lin Feng. Lin Feng listened to Ancient One's words with a vague understanding. He had read the original work, and he could roughly guess what Ancient One was talking about. The future should refer to the Avengers Alliance 3 or 4 plots. In the Marvel Universe, the biggest Blue Star crisis so far comes from purple sweet potato essence. Lin Feng doesn't know how easy it is to make purple sweet potato essence, but according to the performance in the movie, purple sweet potato essence should not be able to withstand a few heat rays by myself. Thinking of this, Lin Feng felt a little relieved. The only thing worth paying attention to is whether the arrival of Lin Feng will set off a bigger butterfly effect. Although there are no signs yet. But Lin Feng feels that the butterfly effect is bound to happen. A few things he did after he came to Marvel changed some plots. This is not what he wants, but he can't help changing the plot. Because the moment I appeared in Marvel, it was doomed that the plot would change accordingly. Only by being fully prepared can we face the unknown storm caused by the butterfly effect. Saying goodbye to the Ancient One Magician, Lin Feng flew towards Tony Stark's villa. Solved my troublesome problem. Time to fix Susan's problem. Tony happened to be at his villa. He welcomed Lin Feng's arrival. Lin, you're back. Tony sat in the living room, watching Lin Feng fly down from the sky and walk into the house. Lin Feng was not polite to him either, and sat straight on the sofa, picked up the glass in front of him and poured himself half a glass. When he left DC, he told Tony Stark that he was going away for a few days, but he didn't say where. After drinking a cup, Lin Feng heaved a sigh of relief. He discovered that something had changed in Tony's reactor. The light source is triangular in shape. You made it. Lin Feng pointed at the reactor on his chest and said with a smile, congratulations. Tony's face is definitely reasonable. Definitely made it. Who do you think I am? Genius inventor, Tony Stark. Tony continued, I probably know why you came to me. Is it because of Susan? Today's second tactical fallback. Lin Feng couldn't help but rolled his eyes. How does everyone know what to do? Lin Feng shook his head, a little helpless. Susan is still at home wiping tears now. I've noticed that too, Tony said, with some hesitation on his face. Stark Industries has started PR. Originally, I should have resolved the incident as soon as possible, but Lin. You may not know, I've been a little busy lately. That's the one. Tony gestured with his hands in the air. A big guy insists on having a mecha battle with me, So. Lin Feng interrupted Tony. He nodded. I know. Tony. I don't mean to blame you. Tony's incident has been in the news, and Ivan Vanke and Hammer Industries have copied his mecha. However, Ivan Vanke never sincerely cooperated with Hanmo Industry from the beginning to the end. He controls a large number of mechas, chasing after Tony's sparks. It's the plot of Iron Man 2, which happened just these few days. So Tony can't take care of many things. Tony nodded, relieved. He said this because he was afraid that Lin Feng would blame him, why he didn't take action to stop the rumors. It's true that Tony Stark has a busy ass smoking these days. New reactor research and development. There is also the conspiracy of Ivan Vanke. It made Tony very anxious. PR will see results soon, Tony continued. JARVIS found out all the main people who spread the rumors. Believe tomorrow, the United States authorities will put them all in a small dark room. What about you? As Superman, do you want to explain yourself? Half of the rumors are about Tony Stark, and the other half are about Superman. Lin Feng nodded. As Superman he definitely wants to come forward. Even if Susan is not his girlfriend, he will come forward to help innocent people clarify the facts. That's why I came here to find you. I think just explaining the incident may not be credible enough. Then what do you mean? Lin Feng's words made Tony a little confused. I want you and me to make a video and put it on the forum. Lin Feng explained. Oh man, I never do that kind of thing. Tony squinted speechlessly. It's humiliating, you know. Tony refused. I mean, it's too low. Being rejected, Lin Feng didn't speak, just stared at the reactor on Tony's chest and asked. Is the tea delicious? One sentence made Tony a little speechless, and the corners of his eyes twitched. He recognized the meaning of Lin Feng's words. I will detoxify you with tea and give you information to make new elements. Now take a video and tell me you don't want to. Alright, Lin, you're an exception. Tony raised his hand helplessly as a sign of surrender. Just this one time, just this one time. He held up a finger. Lin Feng smiled with satisfaction. No problem. The two happily formulated the content of the video, which was shot by JARVIS. The process lasted about an hour. Tony always thinks that he is not handsome enough in the picture, which leads to 2 reshoots. By the time things were over, it was already early morning. Lin Feng did not go home, nor did he spend the night at Tony's villa. Since I have my own villa, Lin Feng is somewhat reluctant to live in other people's homes. This made him feel inexplicably strange. And as long as the sun shines, even if Lin Feng does not sleep for several days and nights, he will not feel tired. Time soon came to the next day. Early in the morning, the PR department of Stark Industries was down. Letters and statements from lawyers spread all over the forums. The key figures who spread rumors are listed in detail. Even the information and photos of key people were coded and released. He said he would be held accountable to the end. This makes the people who eat melons a little confused. In the past, even if Tony Stark had lace news, he would not bother to explain it. There are very few situations where public relations fail, although the scale of the rumors this time is a bit large. Some keen netizens have realized that something else is hidden. The protagonist of the event, Susan Carter, may have a background that they don't know. Under the attention of countless netizens, several of the masterminds who took the money were quickly arrested. There are even live footage released. John was arrested on the spot on the BBC radio station. He yelled in horror and was ruthlessly pulled into the police car. Flora was not spared either. She looked bewildered and disbelieving. The two of them hardly showed up in this rumor-mongering incident. Even if sailors were invited, Flora cautiously let John trade with BB coins. Why did the police come to the door so quickly? She couldn't figure it out. John was still clamoring for the phone. He hoped that his uncle would save him. But what he can't see is His uncle stood not far away, with a gloomy face, watching him being taken away without saying a word. He didn't know that his uncle had already received the message. This time Stark Industries put huge amounts of pressure on the Twisters authorities. This is simply not a situation that a radio boss can solve. Rumors about Susan come and go as quickly as they come. If it weren't for the involvement of Iron Man and Superman, people who eat melons don't even know who Susan is. In just one morning, the main rumor mongers were arrested. Two of the masterminds, John and Flora, are being held without bail, no matter the cost. The rest of the rumor mongers are under investigation and are awaiting the finalization of specific punishments. The rapidity of the arresting action stunned all the melon-eating citizens. Major rumor carrier forums and news headlines are also being purged. Until a video appeared on the homepage of major forums, it was quickly certified as the top. It was only then that the conclusion of this matter was truly settled, and the incident was quelled. At that time, in Lin Feng's villa, Susan was sitting on the sofa in a daze. Sky was fiddling with a notebook with headphones on, and reported the results to Susan from time to time. Until Sky saw a pinned video, she was stunned. Sky took off his earphones and turned them on. Susan, look, Stark actually took a video to clarify for you. Oh my god, does your little man have such energy? Sky looked at the video title and comments and wondered. Sky became very interested in Lin Feng's identity by allowing Tony Stark to make a video clarification. Pushing the laptop in front of Susan, she hit the play button. The two watched together. The picture is very clear, with Tony Stark sitting in the middle of the screen. He was wearing home clothes and had a serious expression on his face. He leaned forward. JARVIS. Started. It's started, sir. Very good. Tony clapped his hands, announcing the start of the video. Ahem, don't use it as a self-introduction. Tony spoke to the camera. I think there should be no one who doesn't know me. I didn't want to make this video. But to help a friend of mine, I decided to record him anyway. Everyone is paying attention to the rumors about Susan Carter recently. I think some people are crazy. Susan is my friend's woman. You actually said she hugged my thigh. Are you sowing discord? Huh? Tony questioned, frowning. Let's not talk about how outrageous this matter is, because I believe that when this video is sent out, that's when those rumor mongers were arrested. Anyone who knows me well knows that I generally don't respond positively to scandals about me. Because I don't care if he is true or not. Tony Stark was full of aura, and his tone was full of ridicule and humor. But this time it's different. You want the truth, right? Now I will tell you the truth. It was indeed a Stark Industries vehicle that went to pick up Miss Susan Carter that day. And the driver is happy, I admit that. I will say that one of our young shareholders, First Love. He has no experience, I arranged an evening trip for him. Is there a problem with this? I don't understand, do you usually have nothing to do? Can this kind of thing be rumored to this day? Susan's boyfriend is a shareholder of Stark Industries, and he can use the company's car as he pleases, whether it's picking up his girlfriend or something else. This is the truth of the matter. I warn some people who don't know how to measure, Susan Carter is a family member of our Stark Industries shareholders. Before you speak, you must have evidence. And your shoddy synthesis pictures, and the so-called textual truth. I just want to laugh when I read it, it's too low level. Tony constantly pulls the ins and outs of things in the video. The number of simultaneous viewers of the video has skyrocketed. About the last question, Miss Susan Carter, and this rumor of Superman. Having said that, Tony Stark suddenly laughed. About this rumor, he may be a little different from what you imagined. I dare say the truth, you never thought of it. While speaking, Tony stood up from the chair, picked up the camera and took pictures to the side. Miss Susan Carter's boyfriend is not only a shareholder of our Stark Industries. He is still a very, very familiar person to you. Huh, how to say that, let him explain himself. Tony pointed the camera at Lin Feng. Come on, Lin, let's say hello. The figure of Lin Feng appeared in the picture. He was wearing a black suit and a pair of thin-rimmed glasses. The whole person is slender and elegant. He looks very much like the young president in the TV series. Someone has already recognized him, and he is the man who was rumored to be the driver. But now it has been clarified that the driver is happy, and he is a shareholder of Stark Industries. Also Susan Carter's boyfriend. Lin Feng smiled at the camera and said hello. Hi everyone, I didn't expect to appear in front of you in this way. Don't talk nonsense, I will directly tell you what you care about. A question about why Susan keeps getting pictures of Superman. I guess I'm very entitled to. Lin Feng went straight to the point in the video, revealing the inside story of the second rumor. In his villa, Sky glanced at Susan and said enviously, "Is your boyfriend a shareholder of Stark Industries?" Good guy, no wonder you can afford a villa. Sky admitted that she was a little envious. Susan smiled awkwardly, she didn't tell Susan any information about Lin Feng. Although the relationship between the two is very good, but still the same sentence, Susan respects Lin Feng's personal privacy. Continue to watch the video. Susan changed the subject. In the screen, Lin Feng continued talking. Susan and Superman actually knew each other long before Superman was famous. Their understanding came from an accident. As for the accident, it's inconvenient for me to say more here. All I can say is that 99% of what has been said about Susan recently is false. I hope that citizens will not follow suit, let alone repost those rumors. Otherwise, the authorities will come to your door. Lin Feng was smiling, and his words were full of teasing. The implied meaning is self-evident. However, some people watched the video with a bit of sneer. The reason is simple. Although Lin Feng is a shareholder of Stark Industries. But in fact, he does not have any credibility and reputation. This is the so-called soft-spoken person. People don't know who you are, so they are less willing to believe what you say. Lin Feng definitely knows this. He had also discussed it with Tony in advance. It's time to go big. The video is still playing. Lin Feng in the picture pondered for a moment. I believe that many people don't know me, so they don't want to believe what I say. They might ask, how do you know that Superman and Susan already knew each other? Some people feel sorry for me, my girlfriend runs around with Superman every day. Well, all I can say about the situation, I'm not jealous. Because my identity as a shareholder of Stark Industries is a little strange to everyone. But my other identity, most people who saw the video have seen it. The voice fell, and the citizens who were watching the video were all confused. Could it be that Susan's boyfriend, besides being a shareholder of Stark Industries, has other identities? Susan, who was sitting in the villa, had some guesses in her heart. She stared at the picture intently, but felt a little worried in her heart. In the next second, Lin Feng in the picture took off his glasses and took off his ring. In an instant, a sense of familiarity flooded everyone's hearts. Countless citizens only felt that this face was very familiar, as if they had seen it somewhere. But I couldn't remember it for a while. The answer will be revealed soon. Lin Feng took off his glasses and ring, and slowly floated into the air. In the next second, a black battlesuit slowly covered Lin Feng's entire body. The huge S-shaped pattern marks his identity. The moment when the Superman battlesuit is dressed. Countless citizens stared at the screen dumbfounded. Screaming, in disbelief, that's it. On this day, Almaikar's cry resounded through the entire waist twister. No one thought of it. This handsome big boy is actually a superhero who often appears in the news. Superman. It never occurred to me that Superman would take the initiative to reveal his identity to explain this matter. Shareholder of Stark Industries, boyfriend of the victim of the rumor, Susan. It turned out to be Superman. Thanks for watching, please subscribe and support my channel.